first half and really first 30 minutes, and we didn't do anything well. Our rebounding was awful. It was frustrating for me because I thought we had a really good draw if we could get by Boston College. Clemson's definitely beatable, and I really thought we could give Virginia a run for their money, but that's why it was frustrating. We're just playing with house money at this point. We got a pretty tough draw, but I like it for the NCAA tournament. You know, Seton Hall's good, Kansas is good, but I mean every team that's left is good. You know, we're not going to get to the Final Four by beating Wake Forest, ECU, and Pittsburgh. You know, Kansas is definitely beatable. I think they're the most beatable 1 seed. We've beaten plenty of really good teams this year, so there's no reason to think we can't beat another couple really good teams. Most disappointing part for me is Thursday and Friday should be national holidays. Whatever, they don't pay me enough to make those decisions, but maybe one day. Kevin Keats is a winner. Keep that piece of information in mind as you're filling out your brackets.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miller Field, home of the NC State Quidditch team. The Wolfpack will be taking on the UNCG Spartans in their first game today. My name is
big hit by Gill, number 222.
And that's another goal for, first goal for the Spartans. Big hit by the goalie / keeper number 21.
Colin Urish.
Beautiful hit.
At that point, you know, you have to look to your beaters for defense. I mean, number 257, I believe that was, just literally walked up to the goal and just knocked it right in.
That makes it 30-10 in favor of the Spartans. Let's see if the keeper can score here. Number 9. Ooh, big hit. Still shoots.
Oh.
And they score. That was, I think, the snitch from the last game. That's what it's looked like so far. Lots of spin moves. Try to get open. Good block by Colin. Recovered by Cyborg. Passed it to 82 and scores his second goal in a row. I forgot about that. He did tell us he does play the seeker, and another goal for number 82. That's a hat trick. I don't know if they call that in Quidditch, but that's 3 straight for number 82.
Leading scorer, 82, retreats to the goal.
Another score for the Wolfpack. That makes it 60-50. A little comeback here by State. And he scores. That was number
0, Brian Fox.
Looking for him.
And that's just what it's going to take. You know, you can't always depend on one person to score. You have to trust your teammates to get those goals for you.
And it is number 222 for the Spartans. Gil walking back.
Oh, nice dodge by number 17 of the Wolfpack, Mr. Nicholas Ken.
And our new goalie scores again. Tie game 70-70.
Draymond.
And it does look like the snitch is making his way on the field. It is the gentleman wearing the yellow shorts there. He should have a sock with a tennis ball inside of it. The goal of the seeker is to strip the sock out of his shorts, and that ends the game, giving the team 30 points. The goal is it's a lot more aggressive, lots of tackling.
Now we have Gil playing the position of seeker for the Spartans, and Michael Brown, leader of the Wolfpack, coming in the seeker's position.
The biggest guy for the Spartans as a seeker. He's played 3 positions today.
Oh, wow. Michael just hit by the beater.
And the Wolfpack beater getting Gil as well. So as the seekers reset, Michael Brown will have a little advantage here. As the Wolfpack scores another goal on offense, making it 100-70. As you can see, the snitch being super physical, throwing the other seekers on the ground. The snitch using our seeker as a defender now.
Worn down, though.
They might be looking to put a sub back in the game as the Wolfpack scores again, making it 120-100. Joshua Peck, a lot smaller, being tossed around by the snitch. He's not giving up, though. Got to give him credit.
Yeah, and where the snitch is going for more of the strength approach, Joshua was kind of going for the speed approach. You keep trying to maneuver around him, had lots of quick spins going on.
Meanwhile, another goal for the Wolfpack, making it 140-100. Wolfpack still up by 40. Misses the bludger.
Oh,
Goal down. Lots of action happening as UNCG just scored, making it 160 to 130.
also I believe there's a
And he
oh
does grab the snitch.
Michael Brown with the snitch
Ending
grab.
the game for the Wolfpack. Let's see if the score holds, I guess.
And that is the leader of the team right there with the snitch grab. And I guess you had
Game over. Wolfpack wins.
yeah, the snitch, like he was really being worn down. He looks very tired. So you had to imagine it's only a matter of time.
Great snag there by Michael Brown, the captain, ending the game. Final score here from the first game. We think it is 190 to 130 in favor of the Wolfpack.
I'm Megan Glova and welcome back to Put Me In, Coach. This week I take on lacrosse.
So cradling, that's probably the simplest thing. Just for running up and down the field, you don't want to lose the ball. So it's pretty much like if you're curling a weight. So now you get to try it.
It's not supposed to fall out.
Yep, not supposed to fall out. Pretty much bring it right back down.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, there we go.
Next thing, then passing, I guess.
Sure.
If you're ready for that. Or do you want to try, you would try throwing first.
Okay.
I mean, see, you're a natural. You could have played lacrosse. You want to keep your eye on the person because it's easier. And you're going to bring your stick up in a normal throwing motion, and you're going to like bend your elbows. Yep, just like that. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to. And you're going to pretty much just fling your arms, bend at the elbows. Yeah. Sorry. Yep. Yeah, just like that. Just don't hit a pipe because they'll come back at you. Yeah. You can think of it like a golf swing, although I've never played golf, so I can't really inform you too much of that. Yeah. When you shoot, you want to change the plane, so if you're coming from up top, you want to shoot down low. If you're coming from the side, you really want to go to a different side of the cage, and if you're shooting low, you want to go high. That was close. Yeah, so.
Thanks for tuning in. You can catch men's lacrosse next on March 17th against Liberty.
Body stay vicious. I be up in the gym, just working on my fitness. He's my witness.
Jasmine McCoy with PackTV at the NC State versus Louisville game. We're not only is a senior night, but we're playing for 5th or 6th in the ACC tournament. NC State is looking to bounce back from a tough loss to Georgia Tech. What do you think we need to do for NC State to win this game?
I think we need more defense. More defense in the game for sure. Apu's amazing.
Your favorite senior?
I really like Abu. We came in at the same time, freshman year, senior year, so he's always just been an awesome player, and the way he acts on and off the court is awesome.
To fill in the blank for me, Kevin Keats is a
Winner.
Jasmine McCoy with PackTV at the NC State versus Louisville game. We're not only is a senior night, but we're playing for 5th or 6th in the ACC tournament. NC State is looking to bounce back from a tough loss to Georgia Tech. What do you think we need to do for NC State to win this game?
I think we need more defense. More defense in the game for sure. Apu's amazing.
Your favorite senior?
I really like Abu. We came in at the same time, freshman year, senior year, so he's always just been an awesome player, and the way he acts on and off the court is awesome.
To fill in the blank for me, Kevin Keats is a
Winner.
Welcome down to Lower Method Field as we have the NC State Wolfpack taking on the Liberty Flames. The Wolfpack come in 1-3, Flames at 3-2. I'm Sam Harding alongside my good lad Logan Ward on this beautiful St. Patrick's Day. And Logan, NC State comes in after that devastating loss, 4-11 loss, February 17th to Virginia Tech. How big of a game is today?
This game is huge. Really, they've got to turn it around right here. You know, you're down 1-3 in the record books. This game, you're hoping to swing the momentum back and keep things rolling so that you can finally pick things back up and get things on the right track.
On the flip side of that, we have Liberty coming in at a 3-2 marker, 1 game over 500. They just beat ASU 12-11. How big of a game is it today for them coming off that momentum builder?
They've just got to keep that rolling. They had 2 games last week against ranked opponents, and next week they've got 2 games against ranked opponents as well. They got to bridge that gap and keep the momentum rolling, I think, in this one today.
However, Liberty comes in without one of their biggest proponents of the offense and just the team in general. Carter Elliott, number 24, midfielder for the Flames, is out with a collarbone injury they suffered. He told us getting a hospital pass, as he called it, from on a clear. How big of a loss is that for the Flames today?
You got to think it's pretty big, but you definitely want to rest him. You want to make sure that he's ready for your 2 ranked games, like I said earlier, because you want to have him for those most important games. And really, the rest really is important, especially with a sprain of the collarbone like he's got.
And then what are the keys for this NC State team to get off the snide and get 1 game under 500 with another game tomorrow against ECU, which is a bigger conference game, but still want to get that 2-3 record going into tomorrow?
It's really important. You got to win this one, especially with such a bad loss as last time. You want to make sure that you got it this time and get that momentum rolling into the conference games, like you said.
Well, we'll be back in a few moments for first face-off on this beautiful St. Patrick's Day, as we mentioned earlier, and see you in a few minutes.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
We had really signed off on a price, and that was about it.
Without a signed written estimate, movers may try to charge more.
They were charging us now $2,000 instead of the agreed upon $900.
And may hold your items hostage until you pay.
Not only had they roughly handled or mishandled, it seemed like they had purposely destroyed things.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
While most contraceptives are highly effective at preventing unwanted pregnancies, there is one foolproof method. Pairing socks with sandals has been scientifically proven to prevent pregnancy by deterring any contact with the opposite sex.
Dad, we're grown adults now. Isn't it a little late to be having the talk or whatever this is?
I know what you're thinking. What is international action star Ed Begley Jr. doing talking to his blossoming children about sex? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm saving the world.
You said that we had to come home for an emergency.
Do you know that one of the biggest threats to wildlife and their habitats is rapid human population growth?
Please tell me you're done now.
Do your part by showing young lovers all the tools they need to avoid intimate moments altogether.
You don't have to sit through Ed Begley Jr.'s sex talk to save wildlife. Just use contraception, support reproductive rights, and speak up for sex ed in schools.
That's way better.
Find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Welcome back down to the field, and we had a beautiful conversation with the coach for the Liberty Flames earlier. And Logan, how big of an impact is this roster going to be for the Flames?
It's going to be huge. Their roster is chock full. They've got a lot of offensive stars out here. Their offense, especially, if you look at their previous games, multiple high-scoring affairs, scoring 15 and 11 points in their previous 2 games against Colorado with the 12 points respectively, and 15 points against Arizona State. But it's really their offense is the keystone to this team. They didn't talk a lot about defense in our conversations with them, but definitely their coach emphasized the offense.
And we're talking to the coaches as well. There's going to be a goalie shift. Ryan Reynolds is not starting in goal. It's going to be the backup today. And what does that mean for the team, showing that they have confidence in both goalies?
Well, you got to have confidence in both of your goalies, honestly. And the fact that they have so much confidence in both of their goalies shows really that they can and change up their roster frequently. As we saw, they're very versatile. They're switching multiple people down to different parts of the field. So you got to have confidence in that versatility right there.
And the versatility the roster has for Liberty, they have one of the middies one of the starting middies on the first line is one of the attackmen that they shifted down due to injuries, and what's that mean for them?
Really, it's just, again, going back to that versatility. It's really important and good for the team.
All right, and we will be right back in face-off as the referees are gearing up. We will see you in a few minutes.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
We farm about 3,500 acres. There's pipelines everywhere. The contractor working on my property did not have the lines located before he began work, and it resulted on a strike on a natural gas pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse. Calling 811 or visiting clickbeforeyoudig.com in the U.S. only takes minutes to do, and it can save your life.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Welcome down to Lower Method Field. I'm Sam Harding alongside Logan Ward, and we have a beautiful game between NC State and Liberty Flames today. NC State in the home whites with the gray pants, white helmets, while Liberty is in white helmets and blue tops and bottoms. And Logan, what do you expect out of today's matchup?
I expect today is going to be really high scoring because you know the Liberty offense is going to put up points regardless of how great the defense is playing. But NC State has got to match that intensity and keep things going and kind of go tit for tat with whatever Liberty can put up.
This NC State team anchored by Miller Barber, who we've seen light up scoreboards before. And speaking about scoreboards being lit up, what can this NC State team take out of that detrimental loss to Virginia Tech?
With such a big loss, like a 7-point loss in there, you really just got to imagine that they're going to focus on their offense especially against such an offensive game as the Liberty Flames. You have to imagine that they're going to really try to match that. So, and when you lose to Virginia Tech by 7, you want to match the intensity of a team like this.
And it looks like NC State will not have their normal face-off man, Will McOwen, going. It'll be Hank Moss, number 40, for the NC State team. Normally an attackman, but he will be taking the first face today, so I don't think Will showed, or just Hank has been showing out in practices.
Yeah, and Will McOwen is 35-40 on his face-offs on the season, so maybe they were looking for a little bit more of a change and have a little bit more of a chance of winning this first face-off out here today.
Absolutely. I think that's probably what Coach Demarest was looking for in his team. The Liberty Flames, coached by Kyle McQuillan, who we had a great conversation with earlier on down on the field, and we'll get to some of our notes on that later. But referees making sure cages are up to par, and goalie number 4, Braden Harriman for the Liberty Flames, digging in while Parker Stanton is in a sumo squat.
Absolutely. Got to imagine they're just settling into those sand pits right now.
Absolutely.
Getting ready for the game.
Talked to Coach Demarest earlier. It's home field advantage, as he called it, in the this old school sand playpen back there.
Absolutely. You got to imagine State's got a little bit of an advantage with that because they get to practice in these sand pits right here.
Hank Moss on the face, Devin Johnson on a wing, and I believe that is Jack Sarl on the other wing at LSM. And here we go. And Johnson moves it around. Ball's coming out. Hockeyed in by Johnson. Picked up a number 18 for the Liberty Flames and just settled down by the attackman here. Guarded by number 27, Jonathan Hopkins.
Not the result you really want there when you switch up your face-off guy right there, but, you know, got to have confidence in your team. Just got to keep it going, you know?
Absolutely. Looked a little too easy here, but here you go. Down the right alley. Moved around to Exton, get the shot he wanted. Moved it back. Number 32. Number 7. Cutter again. NC State looks like they got fooled on a switch, but big triple team there and taken away by Johnson. Ooh, good little side check by attackman number 32. Another spin move, and just a little flip out of the stick there.
Very physical defense right now from the Pack, meeting the attackman right there in front of the goal, making sure that he didn't have an opportunity.
Absolutely. Johnson just doesn't – he looks lackadaisical out there. He didn't know where he was going. Excuse me, that was Thomas Galligan.
Definitely important keeping possession, though, which he did manage to do.
Absolutely. Here you go. Shot. That was a shot by David Pryor. Did not get low enough. And back on the attack. Counterattack here is the Flames. Number 5, defenseman with the goal.
Easily scored there. Really just cut right through the defense right there.
Absolutely. What did you see on that, Logan?
Just really shoddy defense. Nobody met him right there, but he managed to just knife through and get that goal, and it was a beautiful shot right there.
And it just looked like offense and offense there. Fast break meets goalie. Goalie makes the save, and then fast break for the Flames, and no one was there to stop that.
Absolutely. And as we were talking, you want to meet that offense head on early in this game. You can't let them build that much momentum early on.
Absolutely. That was a tough goal led up by Stan with 13:35 left.
Now, and Stan saving approximately about 49% of the saves thus far this season. Might be a little lower if I remember correctly, but definitely you want to have confidence in him going forward, but letting up a goal early like that is definitely going to put a little bit of damage in your psyche early on.
Absolutely, and face-off here won by the Flames. Nothing there. Almost had a little tip, but brought in, got a touch by number 7. Derek Esch, who's one of the top players on this Liberty Flames team that we talked about earlier. And ball's just too high for Sam Gregory, and it's going to be an over and back. And ball's out right in front of us. Going to be a quick start for number 30, Michael Sullivan here, one of the leaders of this Pack team. So he's just going to bring it in slowly here.
It looks like the Flames tried to slow it down a little bit there, but they got a little sloppy back with their back pass a little there. Just sailed it. Nothing to worry about so far for either team. It's still very early. We're not even 5 minutes into this first quarter.
No, not at all. And here you go. Ball's up top in the middle here. Moved around by
Devin Johnson.
Top center again with number 12, Carter Rucker. Rucker had nothing going for him. Moved down to Barber. Again, Barber's the spark plug. What do you think? How can they get him going?
They've got to just get him open shots because – and really his passing ability is fantastic as well, as Devin Johnson just tripped up right there.
And there's a flag, so this will be a delayed penalty for the state team here. Let's see if they can get anything going. Ball's moved around by number 10, Anthony DeLucia. Ball's on the ground. It looks like a man in the crease, so that will be the end of possession.
Actually, it looked like he was pushed in there by a Flames player, so
good defense there. Just make it look like he walked in there on his own free will. Get that penalty started early. Don't give them an extra opportunity. NC State will be man up here, and that'll be a key for the state team.
Absolutely.
We saw them. They were doing pretty well on their man up against Virginia Tech, and then in the second half is a whole different story. How can they improve? Just make sure that they can stay on top of this Liberty team.
You just got to hope that they've got the stamina to keep going, because they were looking good in that first half against Virginia Tech, but they just kind of lost it in the second half there, starting with the third quarter when they lit up, I believe it was around 7 points in one quarter.
Absolutely. It was the third quarter set up, and there's Sullivan trying to keep it in. Little hockey had 3 NC State players. The hustle coming. The penalty is released for this Liberty team. Sullivan got knocked down, looking for a penalty. Nothing there. Ball's taken away by defenseman number 5 for the Flames. That was Win McKeever on the team on the scoop.
Well, and imagine McKeever with that first goal early on too, just knifed in there. And that's exactly what you're going to hope that the Pack can avoid in this second time around.
Absolutely. You don't want to give up fast break goals like that you can, especially when you were supposed to have the goal for yourself. Pryor just couldn't get it low enough and just gave it right to the mitts of the goalie.
Yeah, and you'll notice throughout this game so far, Flames are constantly sending people back and forth through the offense and the defensive sides here, making sure that they don't get too many people on one side of the field, but also making sure that they've got some fresh legs on offense.
Absolutely. Here you go. They had a cutter, just couldn't get it to him. It's number 7 for the Flames with the ball. Moves it down to number 2, Sam Gregory. Back to 7, Derek Esch.
It was a great job by the defense there, just kind of clogging the lanes and making sure they couldn't get a clean pass in there.
Sam Gregory with the ball here, looking to set up. Got a pick on his right. Moves it around top. Looks for someone. Tries to dump it over. Just wasn't there. Looks like he got fooled by the sand pit there. A little home field advantage. Sand, if you can tell, on the goal that Parker Sandin is guarding for the Wolfpack is littered with sand everywhere. We're basically at Ocean Isle. That's a little North Carolina geography joke for everyone. And a turnover by the Wolfpack on that. And that's just not what you want on one of the clears of the game. Usually with a easy, simple pass there, too.
Yeah, no, the past 2 turnovers by both teams have both just been sailing of the passes, really. And you gotta control that. It's early on, so you can afford some mistakes because you can make up for it later potentially. But you can't let passes sail on you like that.
No, not at all. And here's the Liberty team moving around. Down to X here. Ball's up to number 23 on the Liberty squad.
They're taking their time. They're just moving it around right now.
Absolutely, just trying to settle in, get this NC State defense moving and see where they have it. Billy Zoyle with the ball now. Looks to attack. Dumps it down to X and just couldn't get that pass there, but that was a beautiful cut. They had what they wanted, just couldn't get what they wanted. Just couldn't get the pass there.
Yeah, Flames having plenty of opportunities right now. Defense needs to stand a little taller because Flames, honestly, I think have done more for self-sabotage than the defense has done anything to stop them at this point.
Absolutely, and Parker Sand forced to run, had a beautiful pass, just wasn't hauled in there by number 28, Peter Collins on the clear, and now it's back with the Flames.
I had talked earlier about how they needed to match their offense tit for tat, but so far they've just matched every sloppy pass with their own.
It's been sloppy pass for sloppy pass here, but it looks the Flames have been doing better, I guess, to say lack of better offense here, but just the sloppy play that they've had has been tougher on the state team because they've at least been on offense and turning it over on the offensive end, and then right when they turn it over, the state would turn it over as well. And there you go. They finally found the man they wanted. That was I believe that was number 11 on the goal there for the Flames. That was Matteo Zampano, who's now one of the midfielders we were talking about. He got switched from attack to one of the starting midfielders, and that's the versatility we were talking about in the open. What did you see on that play, Logan?
Absolutely. Just great passing right there. They had sailed a couple of those passes or just made a couple passes that were too wide earlier. They found their man right there, and he just put that right in for the goal.
Absolutely. And here we go, Hank Moss on the face again. The Flames are now up 2-0 on this Wolfpack team, and another face-off win for the Flames. It's now 3-0 here. Moss looking for a way off. He's trying to match man for man here. Running on the hips. He doesn't want to be on defense. He got caught. Looks like NC State's now subbing in, waiting to mark up while Flames have the yellow call on.
Flames are taking their time right now.
Absolutely, getting their men on. Here you go, up to number 20 here.
That's really their offense in action because they score a lot of points, and we're seeing how they get it right now. Just taking their time, slowing it down, and making sure that they've got the prime opportunity for scoring every single time down the field.
Here's Chase on the drive. Back to Sam Gregory. Beautiful little turnaround. Another re-attack here. Ooh, long shot caught in the stick of the defenseman. I don't know what number, couldn't see this number on that, but that's now a fast break for the NC State team. No one saw coming, not even the defenseman. He was quick enough to realize they had it in his stick and just started running with it before anyone noticed.
Looks like the Flames managed to stop that fast break right there.
Absolutely. Here's Miller Barber with the ball now, being hassled by Wynn McKeever. And there's a penalty on Wynn, I believe.
Getting a little too aggressive with the stick down there.
Absolutely. Here you go. I believe that's Michael Sullivan with the ball now. Back to Miller Barber. Screen around the X area. Barber's where he wanted to be. Noted home on the pass. Chased there, but doesn't matter. It's going to be NC State ball on the man up. And NC State 0 for 1 right now on man up, but getting a second opportunity at it with 7:07 left in the first, that's big.
Absolutely huge. You really want to take advantage of these opportunities, especially when you're down 0-2 or this early in the game, especially with these opportunities that you're being given through the penalties. And you haven't had any yet. You're hoping that you can convert on these chances.
Absolutely. This NC State team also has not had many opportunities on offense. Finally, time to see what they can do here. A big open set for this NC State team, just moving around, getting this man down, moving. Hank Moss with it, moves it up. Miller Barber moves it down. Back to Barber, just moving it around. Here you go. Here's Moss with it. NC State now with the motion, going to start their play now. You hear backside.
Nobody
look for the skip pass to Barber. Wasn't there. Try to move it up. There's a little roller, a little bounce pass there. Nothing home. Barber steps in, rips it, lower left corner. Beautiful goal there by Barber.
Absolutely fantastic there. And that's really what State has been counting on offense all season long. Barber, their points leading getter, for lack of a better term, really. He leads them in points with his goals. He's got 11 on the season. And his 5 assists as well. He is their offense.
He really is, and that was beautiful patience there for this NC State team. They didn't have anything. Then they started their offense. Looked like it might have been broken with a little grounder there, but they didn't panic. Miller just stepped in, found the shot that he wanted, and just buried it home. And there's nothing really that Austin could have done on that goal, or that Braden Harriman could have done on that goal.
No, it was a fantastic shot, just put in the back of the net by Miller Barber there.
Absolutely. I believe it's Hank Moss back on the face-off for this NC State team. And I stand corrected. That is Will McOwen who lost it. And that's 0 for 4 for NC State on the face-off. That is not an easy way. That's not good for this NC State team.
Looked like Will McOwen actually had a little bit more success out there than Hank Moss there thus far, though, on his first one out there.
Absolutely. Fresh legs. Hank just got off face-off. Didn't want to burn him too quickly, seeing that we do have 6 minutes left in this first.
No, and the face-off's so important, especially against a team with as good an offense as the Liberty Flames out here.
Flames put up double digits in their last 2 games, one in a win over Arizona State, the other in a loss to Colorado. And the Flames looking for offense. Sam Gregory on guarded backside, gets it now, guarded closely. Sam Gregory is short, quick attackman for this Flames team. Back to him now. Ball's now at X, just moving around, looking for some opportunities.
No, they're doing a good job of just slowing it down, like we've mentioned all game.
There's Gregory with a beautiful opportunity, just couldn't peg it in. He had the shot that he wanted, just hit the left post, came right to the fans over here, and it's going to stay with the Flames.
No, and that was the opportunities that they've been getting all game, just sliding right through the NC State defense and getting the shots that they want. That one just sailed a little bit to the left. You actually heard it clang off the post from where we were at right now.
This NC State team playing really good off-ball defense, except for they start ball watching a little bit, it seemed like, and there you go. Beautiful help slide and just nothing doing it there. That's number 92, Caleb Brennan on the goal, and that is great help defense by NC State, just nothing there for him. What happened on that, Logan?
Really, that was more of a great shot right there, honestly. Spinning around and just getting the, over-the-shoulder shot almost. He almost wasn't facing the goal at that point. He just flipped around and shot it right in there. Beautiful shot. Defense, I don't know what else the defense could have done there. There were 3 people right there on him.
That was tough for Parker standing in goal. That was a beautiful goal. Just a beautiful goal, like you said. He just turned around. He knew where the goal was and just flipped it in with 2 men on him. He didn't care.
No, and their moves down in, for lack of a better term, the post, I guess, it's really just been impressive. their spins, their jukes, they've really just been on point and getting to where they need to be.
Absolutely. Another face-off here for the Flames, this time against Hank Moss. Ball moved up now to the long stick midi. Down to Gregory. Back at X here. This Flames team now getting in their subs, switching around. And Hank got caught on defense here. Look for the Flames team to exploit that matchup with Hank Moss, the Fogo man, in now. Here you go. We got the switch. Oh, no one switched with Hank. That's just a classic. That's just a classic miscommunication there by the defense.
Really disappointing to see at this point in the game, honestly.
Absolutely.
You want to get him off the field as soon as possible, and they just haven't been able to do it so far. He's been caught out several times.
I believe that was number 7 on the goal.
I couldn't actually tell.
I couldn't
it happened
really
very
tell.
quickly.
I just saw Hank Moss run off and then saw the ball in the back of the net. That was not really Hank's fault there as much as just a miscommunication between two defensemen, which happens more than you'd like to think. But at this point in the game, you don't want that to happen. With 4 minutes, 20 seconds left, it's Flames up 4-1.
Absolutely.
And here we go. We got Will McOwen on the face-off now.
No, and these face-offs have been key right now for Liberty. Just they've won every single one, and it's shown in their offense thus far. And
Absolutely. And here we go. 3-on-4 fast break here for the Flames. They got what they wanted. Ooh, ball stopped in the sand pit, though. That probably would have gone out if it was actual grass or turf, but didn't matter here. Ball was knocked around in the middle. Now it's going to be settled with number 7, Derek Esch, in the Flames team.
That good old home field advantage that we've been talking about, those sand pits, certainly make things interesting every time down here.
Absolutely. And here we go, number 20, moves around, ball's now at X. And I'd like to hit on something you said. NC State has not won a single faceoff, so that means every possession has started off in the sticks of the Flames, and that's just not how you want to win. Time of possession is vastly in favor of this Flames team. Wolfpack's defense is starting to get tired, and you can kind of see that. That's how Virginia Tech wore them down. Got the goal, got the 7-goal third quarter on February 17th.
And letting up 4 it's not a great way to start this game in the first quarter, honestly. Flames have really just been picking them apart. Like we mentioned, slowing it down, just taking their time and finding the opportunities that they want and taking advantage of this Wolfpack defense not being able to stop them.
They really are. And here we go. The drive, number 7, Derek Esch with another goal. 2 goals on the night for him. And that was just right through downtown Main Street of the NC State defense. What happened there, Logan?
Just, again, cutting through the defense. The defense has to be more physical like they've shown earlier in the game. But they've just, he cut through there, he got to exactly where he wanted, and just put the ball in the back of the net. There's not much the defense can do there, or the goalie can do there, really, because the defense isn't stepping up and helping him out there.
No, the slides did not look like they were there how they wanted it to be. Sliding stick rather than body. Letting Esch just get right into the middle of the defense, right in the heart, not where you want them to be. This Liberty Flames squad is now up 5-1 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and this might start getting out of hand fast if they can't win a face-off here for the State squad.
Absolutely. These face-offs have just been so important to Liberty Flames so far. Their offense just getting jump-started with every victory they get down there.
Absolutely. Let's see if McOwen can do anything here. Here's a chance. There we go for the NC State squad. That is
their first victory in the face-off so far.
That's Jack Sarl with the ground ball, but let's see if they can keep it here, and ball's out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Flames. So face-off 1, but doesn't matter. It's going to go to the Flames. They're waiting for a quick start. They didn't get it. Now they get the whistle. Ball's in the middle of the field with the Flames running down the heart. Ball's now at the box with Esch. Ball's moving up. Got the touch. Now ball's being settled up with Sam Gregory here.
Really just doing a great job on offense. And their defense has held up, too. State not getting a lot of opportunities down there.
No, not at all. They had 2 man ups, I mean. And then, ooh, beautiful shot there for number 17, Stephen Previtt. And right in the middle of the defense. one more time.
And just jumped straight up and just shot it right in there. Fantastic shot right there. Goalie wasn't ready for it at all, I don't feel. The defense, again, just has to move those guys out of there. Be a little bit more physical and make sure they don't get those opportunities like that. And those, again, the face-off, even though they won it this time for the Wolfpack did, they got it down there. They've got to keep possession. They lost the ball way too quickly and allowed Liberty to get down there just as quickly and score.
Absolutely, and I stand corrected. That was Matt Zupano on the goal as number 11, not number 17. The font screwed me up there, but I realized I was wrong. And there we go. There's a holding on Liberty. It's going to go state ball. Going to get the touch here.
Not exactly the same as winning the face-off, but they'll take it at that point.
Absolutely. Right now you need to take what you can get. It's 6-1, 5-goal deficit with 2 minutes left. Going into the quarter, you need a goal here if you're the state squad.
Losing his
ball's
footing.
Down, losing footing. Taken away by number 22 on this Liberty squad.
And it's been happening a lot. Happened right there, and it happened to Devin Johnson earlier in the game, although Devin managed to keep possession there.
Yeah. There you go. There's a save, I believe, by Parker Sand, and that's going to be number 27, Jonathan Hopkins with the clear. He's bringing it up. Now is long. Oh, ball tipped. Now it's with number 28, Peter Collins.
Had an opportunity there, just did not take advantage of it there, Liberty there. Good stop there and goal for the Wolfpack.
Anthony DeLucia with it now, looking for someone to take it from him. Ball is now up with, I believe that's number 21. That's Christopher Schulz. Now with number 24, Ben Klauser. Cutter not there. Ooh, he slips it in anyway. Ball's on the carpet and scooped up now with Wynn McKeever, and he's already got a goal in the game. Let's see if he tries to add to his total now. Looks like he's got Sam Gregory there where he wanted him. Back to Wynn. Ball's down low. Just didn't get that goal like he wanted, but that was beautiful fast break for this Flames team.
You got to be worried if you're on the Wolfpack side. They're getting these opportunities way too easily, and with just under a minute left now in this first quarter, about 35 seconds remaining, you got to imagine that they want to turn this around in the second quarter.
They really need to here, and they want to get out of this quarter without another goal let up. But this Liberty team's moving around. They're just playing offense at a high level right now.
Absolutely.
Right down the right alley here. And there we go. Back just how they started out, though, with another turnover. And this is 15 seconds left. But for the state team to maybe get a goal here, or at least get it on the other side. But they have not been clearing it very well at all.
No,
the
not
state
at all.
team might as well. Ball's on the carpet. Didn't get it there. 8 seconds left. Liberty's got time to just chuck it down, maybe get a lucky goal. Parker Sand just moves up, and that's the end. Nothing there, just long passes, seeing if someone would fall, nothing there. But tail of the first half is Liberty is dominated at the faceoff, actually.
Absolutely, just winning almost every single time down the field. You got to imagine that State wants to change that up this time in the second quarter.
It is 6-1 in favor of the Liberty Flames, and we'll be right back in a few moments for the face-off of the second quarter.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
We had really signed off on a price, and that was about it.
Without a signed written estimate, movers may try to charge more.
They were charging us now $2,000 instead of the agreed upon $900.
And may hold your items hostage until you pay.
Not only had they roughly handled or mishandled, it seemed like they had purposely destroyed things.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
While most contraceptives are highly effective at preventing unwanted pregnancies, there is one foolproof method. Pairing socks with sandals has been scientifically proven to prevent pregnancy by deterring any contact with the opposite sex.
Dad, We're grown adults now. Isn't it a little late to be having the talk or whatever this is?
I know what you're thinking. What is international action star Ed Begley Jr. doing talking to his blossoming children about sex? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm saving the world.
You said that we had to come home for an emergency.
Do you know that one of the biggest threats to wildlife and their habitats is rapid human population growth?
Please tell me you're done now.
Do your part by showing young lovers all the tools they need to avoid intimate moments altogether.
You don't have to sit through Ed Begley Jr.'s sex talk to save wildlife. Just use contraception, support reproductive rights, and speak up for sex ed in schools.
That's way better.
Find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Welcome back down as we have the second quarter for you. NC State down 1-6 to this Flame squad. And Logan, what did you see in that first quarter?
Just the face-offs alone just show the momentum of this game, with Liberty winning all but, I think, if I counted correctly, 2 of the face-offs there going in the favor of the Wolfpack. You got to imagine that this one is probably the most important face-off of the game. You got to swing this momentum back in your favor, and if you can get a quick goal, you might be able to work your way back into this one.
Absolutely. We have Devin Johnson on one wing in the LSM. David Pryor for the NC State Wolfpack on the other, with Will McOwen now taking the first face-off of the second quarter rather than Hank Moss, who honestly neither of them really were that effective against the face-off man of Liberty, and can't really put that on them. This face-off man for Liberty has just been playing at a different level.
He's been playing a fantastic game thus far. Very aggressive with his face-off work, but he's been winning these, and there's a reason for that.
And here you go. Ball's on the carpet here, face-off, and now scooped up by the LSM for the Liberty Flames, and now worked around, getting that slow break in, just getting the shift, getting who they want on offense.
Looks like they're getting down here pretty quick, but making sure that they've got their opportunity as they have all game.
Absolutely, and I just want to take a second to appreciate the skyline right now. It is a beautiful day, beautiful night right now, beautiful sunset around us on this field.
A perfect way to wrap up. It's good St. Patrick's Day. But
absolutely, a couple clouds in the sky, but nothing too bad, and beautiful temperature out. Not too cold, not too hot. And speaking about hot, the Flames moving around, just settling in here now, and looking for their time to attack. Feel like a couple more passes, and here we go with the dodge now from the lower alley, trying to get that pick up top. But great defense by Pryor, forcing a turnover. That was great defense by Pryor. Didn't get fooled by a pick, and just slapped him right in the gut on the pass, made him overthrow his man. That was beautiful. That's what the NC State Wolfpack need.
You're imagining that the Wolfpack are going to want to see much more of that out of their defense all game long. They just harassed the person with the ball the entire way down, managed to keep it going, and they've already turned it over again, which is the big problem they've had on offense.
Absolutely, but great. Good little ride there, keeping the ball down, trying to get it back for them. Oh, maybe a little interference there, but nothing was called. Have communication here with the state team. Jack Sarl, captain, now on number 11, Mateo Zumpano of this Flames team.
Again, playing out of his usual position, but doing a great job thus far. The offense hasn't been slowed down a bit.
No. And here we go. We got a little switch. Johnson trying to match leg for leg, and got a switch coming. They just got beat on that switch. Beautiful save by Parker Stan. Oh, risky pass there. Did not pay off. Scooped up there by Miller Barber. That was a risky pass there by Parker Stan. He thought he had him. Tried to lead him right over the stick of the defender, but didn't really get it, but luckily picked up by Miller Barber.
Yeah. So far, Wolfpack just really trying to get anything going on offense. We had the Miller Barber goal earlier, which was a very great play by them, but they just haven't been able to find anything resembling that sense.
No, that Wolfpack are now 1-2 on man-ups, but haven't been in that situation again, which they really want to draw penalties here. Beautiful move here. Double move by number 31.
Just wide a little bit
31,
there.
That was Andrew Lloyd for the Wolfpack.
Good juke move right
Oh,
there.
beautiful pass and find. Beautiful save there by Harriman, the Flames goalie. That was beautiful save, and it's going to go Flames ball. It was in the stick last of the Wolfpack, and you got some argument there by, I believe that's number 12. He's running from it. I can't tell. Yes, it was number 12. That's Carter Rucker with the argument to the official, but nothing having it there. Now he's back on defense.
Looks like he was a little unhappy with the way the Liberty Flames player managed to get that ball away from him there.
Absolutely. Can't tell if he's just frustrated with himself or with the call, but probably a little bit of both.
You have to imagine that. Offense stalling out here.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter what he thinks. It's the Flames ball now. Ball's moved around. Ash moves it down. Back up. Gregory now on the flip side of us. Gregory back with it now. Ball's back to Esh now. Moved up to number 23. Yeah, number 20 with it. He's going to look to attack. Number 23 with the ball now. That's Billy Zoll. Nothing having for him. Back up to number 20.
Liberty Flames just doing a great job keeping possession. This is where the Wolfpack has really struggled with their errant passes and sometimes just losing possession, and the Flames taking good advantage of that.
Absolutely. Flames just settle in. Time of possession matters to them. Oh, Gregory with a beautiful move. Moves it down to X. Look for a re-attack. Beautiful save by Parker Stan. Ball's on the ground. Two referees, both blue flags, so you know it's wrong. And the Flames now going to be on the attack.
Yep.
Man up.
And you got to imagine that Wolfpack are not liking the sound of that with the fact that they managed to score 6 points against their full defense. Being a man down is definitely going to be detrimental to whatever they've tried to get going thus far.
Captain Jack Sorrell and Parker Stan in a little huddle, now dispersed. Looks like a little of a five-man die right now. Now setting up in their man down defense. A little string action moving around here for this Wolfpack defense, trying to make sure that they don't let up another goal, which would be a huge momentum builder for this state team. Oh, beautiful setup there. Had a dummy cut, acted like it was going to him, just had the man right behind him. No one saw him. Beautiful, just shot right to the right side of Parker's end.
That was just a great play by the Flames right there. They had the dummy cut, like you said, and the defense moved to surround him basically and left him wide open for the shot, and it was an easy goal.
That was a beautiful man-up play. Beautiful design with the dummy cut. Dummy cut underutilized. It looked like a state team had not seen one in a while, and they paid for that price.
Yeah, Virginia Tech didn't run a lot of dummy cuts, if they did at all, but Flames just pulling out all the stops to dispatch this Wolfpack team, really.
Absolutely, and here you go. I believe that's McOwen on the face-off. Doesn't matter. Beautiful face-off there by...
Looks like McOwen is having a little bit more success than Moss, but...
Absolutely. Fowler on that, and McOwen with the tenacious defense, like a little pit bull, keeping him away, trying to get the ball, and it's going to go... Ooh! Just a fake point there by the official. Got his directions mixed up, and it's going to go Flames ball.
No, it looks like McOwen, although he was doing a great job there on the defense, looks like he got a little bit too aggressive there.
He might have stepped out of bounds with it. Doesn't matter. And it's going to go Flames. It's 7-1 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. It's not good if you're this packed team. Coach Demarest might want to use a timeout soon to stop the bleeding. Talk to his team. He had the quarter break, but still hasn't really found anything on offense.
No, this game has just been brutal thus far for the Wolfpack. Their defense not holding against this offensive attack by the Liberty Flames, and their offense not really holding up either.
No, however, we don't want to take anything away from this Flames team. They are playing phenomenal right now. This offense, very methodical in the way that they're moving the ball around and then just attacking right when they need to. Beautiful skip pass right there, down 20. Oh, great bouncer there. Just
skipped a little too high.
Yeah, just picked up a little bit. He's trying to aim for the little sand pit, stop the bounce, absorb most of that in that sand, and then go low, which is hard for Parker Stan. Like, can you explain to me as a goalie, like, what you're seeing there with two different surfaces? And as we see Parker Stan pick one up right out right out of the sand like a little seashell.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be very weird for the goalie having two different surfaces right there because it does bounce so much more on the grass. So you have to keep in mind where it bounced in front of you. And it's tough to keep up with that and the speed of the ball coming at you.
Absolutely, and beautiful clear finally for this Wolfpack team. They have had huge issues on the clearing game. Oh, try to force one there, which is not what you want to do if you're the Pack team. They're not in position to force. And here we go. There is a timeout called by Coach Demarest. And going into the different surfaces, I played goalie back in high school, and I remember our practice field was just like that with sand pits. I always hated it. Because one, sand would get all up in my socks, so it would be awful when I got home. It would be all up in my car, all up in my house. My mom would get mad at me for bringing sand in the house, and it wasn't my fault. But during practice, it was just awful because you didn't know what the bounce was. And we did not play. Like, our game field was not sandy in the crease like it is here. But so, which is a benefit for Parker Sand getting to practice constantly in the sand rather than switching it up. But I remember playing against a team that had an off field sort of like this with a sand pit.
Yeah.
So I was more used to that. I was more acclimated in that area. But playing in the sand is not fun no matter how many times you practice on it because your footing, not just the ball, but the footing is not there.
Yep.
It's just like running in the sand. You kind of slip. You're not as nimble as you want to be. So Parker Sand is at a disadvantage, and so is Harriman, who has never practiced in the sand. They had, like we were talking to Coach Demarest and Kyle McQuillan for the Liberty Flames earlier. The Flames have a turf practice facility.
Yep.
They don't have to deal with the sand like this state team, which is big plus for them. But right now they're playing into the state wheelhouse, but it doesn't matter if you can't get on offense.
No, absolutely. And whether or not it's affecting Harriman for this Flames team has not been seen, really, because the defense has just been swarming whatever attack the Wolfpack have been building, making sure that they don't get those opportunities to see whether or not Harriman can stand up in the sand.
Absolutely. They have not gotten enough attempts on him in the sand, but what little attempts they've had has been thwarted by him. He's been doing a great job in cage so far, only letting up one, but on the flip side, NC State hasn't challenged him enough.
Yeah.
Looking to see that sticks legal here, unlike in that Virginia Tech game where there are multiple illegal sticks. So we're staying in a regular 6-on-6 here. NC State now with the ball, trying to get something happening here.
Yep, and the Flames defense, with that timeout, while it's good for the Wolfpack to calm down and get a chance to take a break, allows the Liberty Flames to kind of set up right here.
Absolutely, and ball's now just going to be carried around to X. Now down to Michael Sullivan, number 10. Or Anthony DeLucia, I apologize, stand corrected. Now here we go, the attack. That's Andrew Lloyd, skip pass. Ooh, beautiful save there, but it did look like Harriman did slip a little bit in that sand. You want to challenge him, make him move. Don't just shoot high to high, shoot high low, low high. Make him move around.
Absolutely.
Or sidearm, change the side of what side the ball is going to, sorry.
Absolutely, no. And we did see him slip there, and we don't see Stanton slip as much, but he still did make the save, and that's the important thing at the end of the day.
Thing. It looked like he went out for a little wide leg. Oh, beautiful move by Johnson. Just
couldn't get
left
the
the
bounce.
Defender, didn't get the bounce. Ball slipped out. Here we go. That is Jack Sarl. Oh, beautiful play by him and Johnson there to make sure one man didn't get caught off sides. Beautiful play by Sarl to get the ball. Now here we go, fast break. Cutting around. No one's there for him. Going to go to Sullivan here. Sullivan, ooh, no angle shot. Tough one there.
Hard hit there, too, after he took that shot right there.
Absolutely paid for that attempt.
Defense making sure that they know their presence right there. Looking like they're trying to slow it down and make sure they get those opportunities Flames have been having.
Ooh, beautiful save. A wide stance with the legs there. Keep that in mind. It's the wider your feet get as a goalie, the less stability you have in the middle, especially on this sand.
Beautiful shot there, though. Just a great save in response to it.
Absolutely. Harriman playing. He heard us. He must have heard us talking about how he might not be able to stay in the sand. And
he is certainly proven
he's
otherwise.
Proving it. Here you go, Liberty Flames now on the attack. NC State's now scurrying to recover on defense, marking up now.
Great job by this Flames team just slowing it down. As we've said all game, I can't say it enough.
Absolutely.
How much they just slow this game down and pick it apart.
Very methodical here. Ball's being moved around now to Esch here. Ball's up to number 23, Billy Zoller. Down the right alley. Beautiful poke away, and it's going State ball, but big problem this State team has had is in the clear game, in the setup clear game. When this Flames team can set up their ride, it's been vicious.
Yep.
They have not been able to break this clear or this ride very easily. As we see there, turnover. And, oh, no turnover. Picked up again. Beautiful clear, just didn't get the pass, didn't connect, and it's going to be offense here for the Flames.
Fantastic spin move there to make sure that they kept possession and away
Absolutely,
from the
Sam Gregory
offense.
down the alley. Ball to the middle. Great save in the sand there by Parker Stanton. Another shot bounced away. Oh, tough break. Parker was going out. Stanton was going out to take the ball off the carpet. Picked up by a State player. Just didn't. He was going to cradle. Didn't have it. Flipped right into the back of the net. And that's a heartbreaker. That's how you. Just no bounces are going in your favor today.
No, absolutely not. That was a rough own goal there, right there. It's tough when you've scored as many goals on your own goal as you have down on the Flames, honestly.
That is a great way to look at it. When you just doubled your score and it doesn't show up for you, that's not good.
No, absolutely not. Rough way to get this game, trying to swing it back. It's not the way to do it.
Absolutely. 6 minutes flat here in the second quarter. It's 8-1 in favor of the Flames.
State defense has stepped up a little bit in the second quarter, though, only allowing 2 goals as opposed to the 6 in the first.
They really haven't. McGowan just dispensed on the ground there. Great hip check by the defenseman. We got a fast break for McGowan trying to match legs with him. And here we go, just going to slow it down. Ball's up now with number 28, I believe. Now it's going to be carried around with number 44, Brett Miller. And you guys think this allows Coach McQuillan to use more subs on his Flames team.
Yep.
Get more reps for the younger guys, which will be bigger in the postseason.
Absolutely, and he talked with us about how he was hoping to get the entire roster in ideally. And he's built that ideal situation. His team has just, with a 7-point lead, you can afford to experiment a little bit more.
Absolutely, and beautiful look there. Just couldn't connect. That was exactly what you wanted, a cut right around crease. No one home for the State team.
Uncomfortably close for the Wolfpack.
Uncomfortably close, and Parker Stanton now moving up. He's got a little bait and switch. Good little side-on pass. Jack Sarl now with it. Man back. Sarl now moving around. You hear good communication with DeLucia. DeLucia just scooped around. Ooh, a little nutmeg of a rake there by Sarl. And a timeout taken by NC State. Exactly what you needed, because right now, every possession is vital for the State team.
Absolutely. So they get a chance to calm it down, take a little bit of time, make sure that they can get things going to the way that they really want things to go.
Absolutely. It's huge for the State team. They finally get on offense, want to settle it in. They don't want to force anything, especially with that little slobby. You didn't know if Sorrell was going to be able to rein it in. He was being chased by about 2 Flames defenders right there, so that was a smart time out there by Coach Demarest.
Now, and you hate to see this 7-point differential like we saw in the Virginia Tech game, but it's exactly what's been built by the Flames already. Whereas Virginia Tech built in the second half against a fatigued Wolfpack team, Flames have just done it against them at full strength. You have to imagine if that month off really has impacted them.
It may have, and we were talking to Coach Demarest that month off. They were still practicing. He was actually telling us about the fences taken down, but they had some signs up. He said that they didn't cut holes in it, so it was more like a wind sail on an old times pirate ship.
Yep.
And so the wind came in, blew down about 15 yards of fence.
Yep.
Right in the backside of that cage that the Wolfpack are attacking now, and just got fixed today, this morning actually, for this game, which we're talking to him. He said it was a weird way to practice, knowing the balls were going into the parking lot. You're losing a lot more balls than you had in past.
Yep, absolutely that. And he mentioned that they practice mostly just on the other side of the field as opposed to the entire field or anything else.
Absolutely. So it's very happy now that we have this NC State team with 2 working fences, no sails on either, and both teams are now back on the field, and hopefully NC State can right their ship against this Flames team.
Absolutely, and it's really just been a struggle for them all game long. But, just got to hope that something can happen and maybe get a little bit more of an opportunity than they've been getting.
Absolutely. NC State had to play out of that. Oh, that to me looks like a goal hit the back of the pipe.
It looks
but
like
apparently my opinion does not matter as long as the ref says no or goes up like it's a touchdown. That's all that matters. And he wouldn't know. So it's going to be Liberty ball.
Rough break for the Wolfpack there. It looked like it had really gone in.
Oh, and then there you go. It's a goal swing. Thought you had one on the other side. Didn't have enough time to complain before the Flames put one in the back of the net against a diving Stanton, which this just goes to show you that everything's going against the Wolfpack here. No, not anything against the officials, just bad bounces.
Yep.
You want to be able to put that farther in the net, in the back of the net, so that there are no gray areas.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it in the official hands because, again, they are only human. If it's way in the back of the net, you can't argue with that.
Yep.
Just like that goal, like we saw with that own goal earlier. It was in the back of the net for the state. And it's just tough for this NC State team, now down 9-1 with 3:56 left.
No, these faceoffs have been painful thus far today. You really just got to hope that they can win a couple here and maybe get that momentum back any way that they can, whether it be through the faceoffs or finally just getting a few fortunate goals. Losing yet another faceoff here.
Absolutely. That's not what you want to see out of this state team, especially when they had such a good offensive possession.
Yeah.
That drawn-up play, probably on a little whiteboard I feel like Coach Demarest has back there, but doesn't matter when you don't get the goal. Maybe they come back to the well and use that again, but right now it's been all Flames.
Absolutely. It's just been really rough on this Wolfpack team, being outscored 3-0 in this quarter.
Absolutely.
Miller Barber's early goal being the only points that they've put up that wasn't on their own goal at this point.
And I feel like NC State would like for us to forget that own goal, which is just a bad miscue.
Absolutely.
See
And
it a lot, but it doesn't matter.
And you can't really hold it too badly against them because really there was just a slight miscommunication, but that can be the difference between a win or a loss.
Absolutely.
A small miscue like that led to a goal. So
Absolutely. Sam Gregory with the ball now, moving it around. Oh, wide open. Bounce right in the grass, not on the sand there, so higher bounce brought out. Now it's going to be with number 11, Matteo Zampano again.
Now, Liberty's been taking advantage of these possession changes, making sure that they just rush back down the field as soon as they take it away from the Wolfpack, making sure that they get the most out of every opportunity right here. Looking like they're going to slow it down here again, making sure. Again, I've just been in awe at how well that they have made this work.
Absolutely. This NC State team is just being dissected by this Flames offense, and there we go. When the state defense holds and forces skip passes, it works. They have not really completed a lot of skip passes. We saw that early on. Haven't seen it much because this Flames team settled in, but right now they just another skip pass goes awry.
Absolutely, and using that defense to make sure that they can force those errors. That's the sign that your defense is working, and really just got to hope that that works out a little bit better.
Absolutely, and don't forget to catch the PackTV coverage of the NC State game tomorrow. Both men's and women's have action. Women's take on Wisconsin at 11 a.m. live on PackTV, and then at 1 o'clock, NC State is in action against ECU. Big conference game at 1 o'clock, both live on PackTV YouTube.
Absolutely. And we'll be here for both of those, so we'll be here tomorrow morning bright and early.
Bright and early. And it'll no longer be St. Patrick's Day, so it won't be as fun. Ooh, beautiful goal right on the doorstep. Just a little 2 knocks, and then boom, right in. Didn't even care what Parker thought. He didn't want to let him in, but
yeah, absolutely.
Forced his way in.
Absolutely rough right there. And again, just knifing really through this Wolfpack defense, taking advantage of every crease that they let open in their defense right here.
Absolutely. This NC State team it's just being dismantled.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, it is now a 10-1 with
10-1.
1:43 left.
Looks as though they haven't updated the scoreboard yet.
They have not. That almost messed me up, but I was quick enough on my feet to realize it's not 9-1. It is 10-1. And here you go. Another face-off win, this time Fowler for the Liberty Flames. And here we go. We got a fast break. Wide open man in the middle. Didn't see him. It was just a little late. And that's a defenseman. You know he's going to give the midi crap about that because you don't get that many opportunities as a defenseman.
Looked like they were going to miss that too many men on the offensive side there, but luckily they called it.
Quick restart here.
Yep. Wolfpack trying to make something happen here. Miller Barber has it.
Moves it down to the X. Michael Sullivan now getting slapped around with a stick right in the shoulder pads, right in the elbow pads, I mean. And here you go, big body here, DeLucia. And there's a flag. I believe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men is offsides on the Flames team, and I'm impressed that I learned how to count there. That's pretty good counting by me. And there you go. Doesn't matter. In the back of the net with an extra man. Maybe that could be the spark that can ignite this NC State team.
Absolutely, and that speed by Devin Johnson there, just making things happen, really. Juked his way out of one situation that the defense had him locked into, spinning his way around and just eventually opening up and getting that goal.
It is now 2-8 or 2-10.
Yeah,
excuse me.
2-10.
I took away 2 goals there for the Flames. 2-10 in favor of the Flames with 55.8 to go, and we got McGowan on it. And something that's surprising to me that we've not seen, we just haven't seen the Wolfpack try to cut off this face-off rather than assuming they're going to beat them and play it fair straight up at the X and go right in, just go straight back and just cut off the hot face-off man for the Flames, and they didn't do it there.
Yep.
Another face-off win, almost a nug there, and shot. Oh, and there you go. They don't count that either. Again, that one looks like a goal to me, but again, doesn't matter. Maybe the NC State team can get a goal out of this, just like Liberty did to them.
Refs call it like they see it if they can't see it.
Absolutely, and NC State got lucky there with an offsides, didn't get caught. Oh, cut her down the middle. Ooh, great check there. Almost a hospital pass. Ooh, beautiful save there.
Just right off his stick, actually, not even in the net there.
Absolutely, you got lucky. You got short time here. 10 seconds, no matter what. You got it at X2. You don't want it back there. You got to try and move it up. Beautiful stop
Goalie
there
just caught it.
by Harriman. And there's Parker just going to let it go out. Doesn't matter right now. It's 2-10 favor of the Flames. And that'll do it for the half. And we'll be back in a minute to talk and give you some analysis on the first half of play.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
We had really signed off on a price, and that was about it.
Without a signed written estimate, movers may try to charge more.
They were charging us now $2,000 instead of the agreed upon $900.
And may hold your items hostage until you pay.
Not only had they roughly handled or mishandled, it seemed like they had purposely destroyed things.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
While most contraceptives are highly effective at preventing unwanted pregnancies, there is one foolproof method. Pairing socks with sandals has been scientifically proven to prevent pregnancy by deterring any contact with the opposite sex.
Dad, we're grown adults now. Isn't it a little late to be having the talk or whatever this is?
I know what you're thinking. What is international action star Ed Begley Jr. doing talking to his blossoming children about sex? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm saving the world.
You said that we had to come home for an emergency.
Do you know that one of the biggest threats to wildlife and their habitats is rapid human population growth?
Please tell me you're done now.
Do your part by showing young lovers all the tools they need to avoid intimate moments altogether.
You don't have to sit through Ed Begley Jr.'s sex talk to save wildlife. Just use contraception, support reproductive rights, and speak up for sex ed in schools.
That's way better.
Find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Welcome back down, lads and lasses, to the field. It is halftime. It is 10-2 in favor of the Liberty Flames, and they've been on fire, just like the name. No pun intended, but it is the right word for this game. Logan, what did you see in that first half?
Just an overwhelming offensive effort from the Liberty Flames right there, just taking advantage of every opportunity that they managed to get. They've been putting the pressure on to Wolfpack's defense, and they just haven't held up.
The offense put up 10 goals. First quarter was detrimental to this NC State team. 1-7 in that first quarter, and you said it, offense. What have they been doing to the State defense?
They've really just been managing to slow it down and picking apart the defense, just dissecting it, finding the open lanes, knifing through, and managing to just put the ball in the back of the net every opportunity that they like.
Yeah, this Liberty Flames team has been really good at just getting the yellow calls, slowing it down, and then moving it around, and then realizing, all right, they're tired. Now it's time to attack. And tiring out that NC State defense has been what they've been good at. Time of possession is vastly in favor of this Flames team, thanks in part to their ride. The NC State team cannot clear it. They putting pressure on Parker Sand, not letting him find the open man like he wants to. It's been going a lot through Jack Sarlo, and it's not his fault that they have not been able to clear it. He's been doing his best for the State team, but this ride by the Liberty Flames has been phenomenal. And how can the NC State team improve their clear based off that Liberty ride?
They've really just got to make sure that they can get open, really, because they've been allowing Liberty to stick with them. They haven't been shaking them off, and they can help out their goalie and their defensemen to clear the ball by actually getting open and getting those lanes open for the passes to come to them.
Absolutely. It looks a little stale on the clear, but the biggest story that we want to talk about is the face-off X. The Liberty Flames have been demolishing NC State at face-off X, and it's no fault really of Will McOwen or Hank Moss. They just have not really had an answer for the two face-off men of Liberty. And how has that impacted this game, Logan?
It's changed everything about this game. Liberty has managed to keep the momentum every single time down this field. With the wins and the face-offs, they managed to keep possession, they managed to keep their offense going, and they managed to score, as we see, by outscoring them by 8 thus far.
Yeah, by keeping the ball on their offensive side, they keep that time of possession going, keep that defense tired. And as you tire, you obviously you're not up to par anymore. And when you can't clear it either, when you get that stop, you get that sweet taste of relief, and then it's right back down your throat. This NC State team has not really had an answer for Liberty. And how has their offense played, even though we haven't had a huge look at them for this NC State squad?
They've looked okay. Miller Barber, of course, managing to just be out there, and of course he is the point scorer there. I mean, there's not much more you can say about that. He's been the offense. We haven't called his name often. He scored that first goal and then kind of disappeared for a little bit because the offense just wasn't getting anything going. But if they can get him going, hopefully they can get some more offense and points on the board.
Absolutely did not feel like we were calling his name a lot in that second quarter, mainly because I feel like we were just talking all about this Liberty Flames team, and enough cannot be said about them. They have been on offense basically all game, and there have been a few glimmers of hope for the State team. They had that beautiful Johnson goal that maybe get them fired up, and how can they improve? Like, what do you want to see out of the state team in the second half?
They've got to improve those face-offs. They've got to win more of them. But also, you keep in mind, they've got to get those clears down. They've got to make sure that those actually work, and you want to get more goals. Really, it comes down to the goals. You've got to score more. You've got to make sure that you get those cuts, and you got to get those passes to the person that can score those goals.
NC State has been at a loss. They have not led at all yet today. Liberty has jumped out to the 1-0 lead quick, and NC State has just not had any good bounces. They had the own goal against them, and that's just something that they can't control, which is really tough to team psyche. How do you think the players in the huddle are reacting, especially after that just happened, that own goal?
I think really you just got to keep in mind that you got to keep going. You've got to keep up the pressure and hope that finally you can break through. As they've shown, they did score there at the end, towards the end of the second quarter there. But you got to keep up that pressure, and you got to keep going, and you can't really let it get you down. They've still been aggressive out there, but really you can see the players whenever the Flames score again, they've got their sticks on their heads. They're just shaking their heads. They don't know what they should do.
This NC State team looks to rebound in the second half, maybe just cut into that lead, get some momentum, especially for tomorrow's game, which is obviously you don't want to look forward yet, but it's a bigger game since it is conference against ECU and state rival. But we'll be back in a few minutes to show you the next second half.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
We farm about 3,500 acres. There's pipelines everywhere. The contractor working on my property did not have the lines located before he began work, and it resulted on a strike on a natural gas pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse. Calling 811 or visiting clickbeforeyoudig.com in the U.S. only takes minutes to do, and it can save your life.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
And we are back down on the field, about a minute out to go. Both teams are just getting geared up. And NC State's still on the field. Parker Sand still taking some shots right now, while this Liberty squad, they're good. They're ready to go. They've been on fire since the start of the game, and they don't want to wait 30 more seconds. They want to go now. They've been down the throats of the NC State team for the entirety of the game, and they want to keep that up.
Absolutely. No, this momentum that they've got, they absolutely want to keep going. There's no reason to slow down. I mean, they might as well just keep this up. They've shown that they are capable of keeping this up. you really have to imagine that they'd be perfectly satisfied with doubling the score they've got right now in the second half.
They absolutely would. NC State now, Parker Sand in the goalie he started out in, and I believe that it is still him. The other goalie's talking to him, just going to put balls on the end line and staying with the main guy.
Yep.
And let's see, and there is a change in goal. Harriman is now out for this Flames team, just like McQuillan told us he would be.
Absolutely. And they've got Ryan Reynolds in there instead.
Ryan Reynolds, a.k.a. Deadpool, is now in goal for the Liberty Flames. And expect a lot more movie references probably with Reynolds in goal.
Absolutely. No, but Reynolds, as they said, has been the starter for the majority of the year. But they have such confidence in both of their goalies, and that's invaluable. Really, you can't put a price on having two goalies. It's fantastic that you can have two that you really believe in.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that a little more in the second half, but here we go. Another face-off, and here we go. Ball still on right where it started. Now it's coming to us, and almost scooped up. Now scooped up and turned around by number 18, Grayson Ryan, and he just moves it around looking for a touch, skips it down, little bounce pass there, right into the chest area of the attackman. Gregory moves it around to the middle.
With their passes, you can definitely see the state defense kind of spread out, and that's what they've been taking advantage of this whole time. Really just taking advantage of this defense. There's not much that they've been able to do, but they've been just getting spread out, and that allows them to knife through the lane and just get it.
Absolutely. The open set really allows them to cut off ball. The area in the middle in front where your hot slide normally is open. They don't have that slide. It's tougher for this defense. Slide adjacently. And there you go. Ball stopped in the sand again. Only one NC State defenseman there, and he picks it up. He's gone. That's legs. That's number 32. Cody Stanford on that clear. Beautiful job there. And like we talked about on the setup rides and clears by the Flames and Wolfpack, Flames have had the advantage, but on that impromptu clear, NC State looked like they had their number there.
Yeah, they look like they're actually building something up. It looks like they're finally getting something set. Hopefully that they can keep this offense going. Looks like Liberty's a little bit shaken, but they've got this 8-point lead that they can more than happily stick with.
And there you go, Carter Rucker with a nice little shot. He tried to bounce one in. He had it where he wanted, just bounced it too high.
Yep.
And now we had to talk about the sand again. Reynolds is now nude in the sand. Ooh, tried a little turnaround fadeaway shot. Didn't have anything there. He got a little bumped up there by the defense, but nothing having it. The chase by Sullivan pays off. It's now State ball.
State looking a little rejuvenated on this offensive side, hustling, making sure that they're getting after these loose balls. Really just been trying to make something happen. Great defensive play, though.
Absolutely. Ooh.
Good job with Devin Johnson.
Devin Johnson with the little scoop up there. He looks surprised himself that he got it. But here you go. Come around cage. That's Miller Barber. Beautiful save there by Ryan Reynolds. Exactly what you want. And the difference between the State and Liberty Clear is State looks to hold their heads down when they miss a shot, and they'll get back in the clear right as Liberty gets on the fast break. But Liberty, they hustle to their spots. They find where they need to be on this clear.
Absolutely.
Or on their rides. While NC State, they didn't do that. They just let a free ride go, and that's not what you want. Your defense is going to tear into you if you don't ride properly, especially if they're already tired.
Absolutely, and this Liberty defense has been making those opportunities happen for their offense. And the clearing really has just been in their favor at this point in the game. You mentioned that they keep their heads down when they miss a pass or a goal. Liberty's just been keeping the pressure on. If they miss, they just keep going.
Absolutely. That was a beautiful shot there by Esch. Nothing happening. He got a little bump there. Beautiful two slide there. Nothing happening. Couldn't have the skip pass like they wanted, but unsettled for this Liberty offense. Now settled in is this defense.
Really just trying to pick it apart as they've done all game.
Moving around now, coming around the crease. Double came quick. Nothing happening. It's right in front of us here. Ooh, 92, number 92, Caleb Britton with it. almost lost it there. Passed it down to his brother, Elijah Britton. Which is pretty cool playing with your brother, you got to think.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My brother and I played on the same football team in high school, so it's pretty cool having your sibling out there on the field.
What was the age difference between you and your brother?
About 3 years. 3 years. He was a freshman when I was a senior out there.
That's got to be really fun.
Absolutely.
I never got that, but I remember playing in the backyard with my brother in basketball, and we'd play against other neighborhood kids, and it would be so much fun because he wouldn't try to mess me up anymore because he was much better than me in basketball. So it was much more fun when I wasn't the one being picked on. We got to pick on someone else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, brotherly love, which he'd always rather not me on his team so he could embarrass me in front of people that he liked. But NC State now trying to cut into this lead. Oh, beautiful move. Just a little stutter step. Looks like he got checked in the neck there, which is obviously illegal. Nothing having it. Forced skip pass, not there. And we have legs going the other way.
Refs have been relatively quiet today. They've been calling a couple of things, but not as much as you would imagine.
Very fair both ways, very fair.
Yep.
And very quiet whistles, like you said. These zebras have not been loud. Very quiet zebras on the field. Now ball is now with Sam Gregory moving around. Ooh, far skip pass there.
I believe we've heard more whistles out of this Liberty team during warm-ups than we have out of the refs today.
Absolutely. The Liberty team did have very intense warm-ups while NC State was just doing line drills. Lots of whistles, sound like a gym class for the most part. Beautiful skip pass, nothing having it there. Ball's not going to roll out though. Ooh, and it does. And it's off blue. Ooh, that's got to be a delay of game, and it is. Just uncalled for there by number 23, Billy Zoller. It is obvious. Nothing is very unnecessary. You're up 10-2. I didn't see the call for it, but I guess he was a little upset with the call. It probably wasn't in defiance of Andrew Lloyd as much as the official, but it looked like it was disrespectful to Lloyd, and the official had to call it there.
Yep. No, he picked it up in his stick and just kind of walked away with it a little bit before he just kind of dropped it right where he was standing. A little bit of a delay of game. Surprised the refs kind of called that one, admittedly.
Absolutely, but they had to there. They forced the whistle. They really didn't want to.
No, but again, in those situations, refs have been relatively quiet, but that they're definitely going to call every time.
Absolutely, and Miller Barber now with the man up here, maybe get something going again. Barber did have that goal the one time. Now starting the attack from X. Sullivan needs to catch that. That was an easy catch. Just couldn't have it in his.
Miller Barber's going to keep possession, though.
Oh, tried to slap it in. There was DeLucia, but didn't have it. Now it's going back, and it's going to be a 3-on-4 fast break for this Liberty Flames team. Now it's going to be settled down. 6-on-6 again. It's now evened up. Here you go for this Flames team now settling in like we talked about, getting the subs in like they needed.
Absolutely, and this burst of speed that they get when they come onto the field has really helped them with their cuts, making sure that they get these opportunities.
Absolutely. Sam Gregory now with it, moves it up to the middle. And I don't see Billy Zoller on the field right now. He might be in trouble by Coach McQuillan. He's an unnecessary play there, but he did have a heck of a game so far. He's been playing very well. Good role player, Zoller is. And here's Gregory. Uses the screen. Good little check. You could hear the contact from where we are.
Good speed by Gregory there, though,
Absolutely.
Just cutting right across the middle. Good pass, just over his shoulder, really. Didn't even turn around all the way. Had faith that his teammate would be there to catch it.
Absolutely. It seemed like a design how quickly hit that slipping dodge there.
Liberty just dominating the time of possession, though, as we mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. NC State with the double. Kind of the rotation was not there quickly. Beautiful poke check. Watch the skip pass right to the middle. Nothing there. Ooh, steps into the shot that he wants right into the newly fixed fence. And it's going to be Liberty ball guarded by Sarl. Moved around. Gregory has it. He's moved. Oh, beautiful play there. Quarterbacked by Gregory there. You saw the little head nod.
Yep.
And then he put it right where he wanted, right to number 44?
Looks that way, yes.
44, Brett Miller. Brett just little catch, quick sticked it in the goal, and that's exactly what you want on that.
Really just kind of just had to loft that in there. Really didn't even hesitate for a second there. Got it straight to him. and just kind of lofted that one in. Didn't even have to shoot it, really. Just kind of dropped it right in there. Goalie nowhere to be seen right there. He was there, but
he was there.
Not ready for that at all.
No, not at all. And here we go with another face-off. You see Hopkins talking to Stan back there, just trying to make sure his goalie's got his head in the right spot, because most of these goals aren't necessarily on Stan.
No, the defense has let him down today.
It seems like I believe that was McOwen on that face-off.
But not enough can be said about how well Liberty has played today.
Absolutely. Pryor with the tenacity there. It's everything where you can always expect that. Runs right in front of one of our cameras there. Pryor's very explosive player. Now ball's moved to Miller Barber.
Now, again, you can see them trying to slow it down and dissect this defense, try to figure out what they missed in this first half. But thus far, they just haven't found anything. They'll get the occasional goal, as we've seen with Johnson and Barber thus far, but more than anything, those were the individual efforts of those guys.
They really were. And here you go. There's another goal by Barber, putting it in the back of the net. First goal allowed by Ryan Reynolds tonight, and it is now 3-11. What did you see on that play?
Just a fantastic pass there to Barber, who was right in front of the net. He turned around, had it right where he wanted it, got Reynolds out to the side a little bit, managed to just put it right in the back of the net.
Absolutely. That's exactly what the team needs. Maybe the game might be a little out of reach now. Probably not, seeing that we do have 7 minutes left, and this is Lacrosse's game of runs, but
absolutely,
it's what you want for tomorrow, going into a game against ECU, conference game, first one of the season. You need that win. Looking forward to the conference tournament. You need to be top 2, if not number 1, in the division or conference to get in, and it starts tomorrow. And here we go. Gregory gets his shot, doesn't have it, and that's chased, and just Stan flew up. It looks like it might have been on NC State. Penalty down. Let's see.
It's like the ref's trying to get the attention of anybody, really.
And it's going to be man down for this NC State team, which is not what you want. You look like you're having luck. Having luck right now with your offense starting to get something going, but now you're man down. You just killed that momentum that you did have on a unwarranted hit. It looked like unnecessary roughness.
There you go.
Thank you. And here you go. Ball's now moved around. Watch for the skip pass. Might go to Zoller here, left unguarded. Well, you needed there if you're a state team, but you got to pick that up. Sarl got lucky that his teammate was there.
Really, just the possession has not been there for NC State today.
But luckily, Gregory was not there to get that skip pass, and that's going to go in favor of the NC State team.
Good effort in the recovery there.
Absolutely.
Diving to try to keep that one in, though. Barely didn't get it. Almost had
Billy
it.
Zoller, he was trying to make up for it. That's Travis Hinshaw now moving around up to Stanton. And this is not going to be easy for this team to clear. They've already been having troubles on the clear to start with, and now adding a man down on the clear. And this is who you want the ball in the stick of. Devin Johnson now moves it around, especially if they're trying to double him because he's so quick to run around. And we're now back at even.
No, Devin Johnson's speed you really want to have in getting to that goal. Trying to make something happen, honestly, on this offense. Any way that they can. They're trying to go to a bunch of different people as they call another foul here.
Actually, it looks like he stepped out of bounds there. It's going to go back into the stick of NC State as the referee chucks it down right into the dirt. It wasn't a great throw, but it worked. It got where it needed to go.
It got there, and that was the whole point.
That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how quickly you get there or how well, as long as you get there. Am I right?
Flames maintaining their very brutal defense.
Absolutely. Very physical defense there by number 27.
Bad pass behind right there. Just can't. They've wasted every opportunity that they've gotten. Almost. They've taken advantage of at least 3, as we can tell.
At least 3. But NC State has just squandered opportunities. That's one of the big storylines of tonight's game, just squandering their opportunities that they had to get back into this game.
Yep, and they've had so many opportunities. And then really, they'll either have the ball sail on them or they'll lose possession because of a great check by a Flames player.
Absolutely. The ball's now being moved around by this Flames team. Just settling in here now.
And this bringing visions back of the Virginia Tech loss, if not earlier.
Absolutely.
In the game, then the Virginia Tech game happens. Physical play between the...
Ooh. Unnecessary roughness there. And now we got good sportsmanship there. It did look like it was number 17, Zachary Watkins, that took a stick to the head. And so got to at least appreciate the cool head there. It's going to probably be a little longer of a penalty because it did look like 2 players for this Liberty team kind of got a little chippy there. One with a stick to the head and the other just a little unnecessary body check. And I can't tell how many men down. I believe it's just 1 man down. And it will be Billy Zoller, it looks like, for this.
Couple penalties there. Looks like he's getting a little hot-headed, honestly. Surprising to see since they've got the 8-point lead, admittedly. You'd think they'd be a little bit cooler right now.
I agree. And here you go. NC State's probably just going to move it around before they do something. Now they got 2 men inside. Just trying to force 2 defensemen to play the inside men rather than outside. And if they only have 1 man playing outside, then you got an easy man open down low.
Absolutely. And we talked a little bit about how they're a little bit – I've seen the Flames be a little bit more physical today than the Wolfpack. But I think that really goes back – you can see it in their warm-ups even. The Liberty Flames, with their warm-ups, they're checking each other. They're making sure they're taking these brutal shots. And they're doing everything that they can to prepare themselves for the regular game. Whereas the Wolfpack, they're doing their lines, and they're definitely getting warmed up. But you have to imagine that prepares the Flames to be a little bit more physical.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. Well, NC State, they're doing line drills. Liberty's getting into the action by actually checking each other and getting really physical, like we were talking about earlier off mic. I remember that happened to me in practice. I was a goalie, and I was frustrated. I don't want to get hit in the game, let alone practice by my own teammates. And you're getting slapped with sticks right in your elbow pads in warm-ups right before a game.
It looks like it's helped them prepare, most certainly, though. So you have to imagine that they're thankful for every member of their team for preparing them to be ready for this game.
Yeah, they probably won't be happy tomorrow morning when they wake up with bruises everywhere. But right now, they're happy because all that matters is the W.
Absolutely. The victory makes it all go away.
It really does. And it looks like the
Wolfpack are going to try to make something happen here.
Absolutely. Moving around here.
Beautiful
save there by Reynolds. He saw it, high to low shot. He saw it all the way and sat on it perfectly.
Both of the goalies for Liberty, as much as we've talked about their offense, their goalies have really been MVPs themselves, honestly.
They really have. We thought that the sand might be able to mess them up, and it hasn't.
It hasn't at all. They've been ready. It's like they've been trained in every condition, honestly.
Absolutely. And here we go.
He brought that all the way up.
Reynolds with a beautiful dime, just like McQuillan told us earlier, that both goalies were very stout in goal, but that Reynolds really exploits the passing game a little bit better than Harriman.
Yeah.
And you can see it right there. He commanded that just like a quarterback. He waved him downfield and threw an absolute dime to a cutting defenseman. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw, as you just said, he's a lot more active.
And here we go, Parker Sand trying to do something of his own. Ball still in the stick. You can't
bring it all the way down.
You can't blame Stan. He's going to try to take one for his own. He's going to get an assist here. Try to go for assist, and he does not.
No, it looks like it hit the side there.
And Stan now realizes he's got to get right back into the goal, but that was beautiful. I can't blame Stan for what he did there. If no one's going to get open,
might as well
force the defense to come to you, and you're going to get an open man, or you're going to be gone. And you can't. No one can get mad at you because it's not your fault that they're not getting open.
Absolutely. No, and you saw, like you said, he just decided to take matters into his own hands. Nobody getting open, he's going to make himself be open.
And you can't really see his eyes, but you could tell what's going through his head because he did a little stutter step. He was like, I guess I really am going now.
Yep.
He really didn't want to, but he was left no option, which I've been put in that situation before when I played in high school.
Yep.
I got yelled at by my entire team. But I did it pretty well, I like to think.
Well,
but there have been times where it's just no one's open, and you don't want to risk a pass where it just comes out. And he was standing at the midfield with the ball and stick, and he goes, "No one's open. I still have it. I'm gonna keep going."
Yep.
And he threw a beautiful pass, and it almost resulted in a goal for that Wolfpack team.
Yep. And you have to imagine, as much as your team probably dislikes you running all the way down there, and it might have actually been the momentum change that this Wolfpack team needed. Maybe it'll be the spark per se, to get this team going again. You know.
Absolutely, I think that's what they need, especially now. This Liberty team has to be wary that they might have to go cover, stand and double quicker rather than once you see that double coming, you know that there's going to be an even opener man, and you can dump it off to him very quickly.
Yep, Stan looking like he was inspired by Reynolds there, actually. Reynolds taking it out of goal a little bit. Stan decided to take that one step further by going to the other side of the field there.
Absolutely. Right now we do have the timeout called by Liberty, I believe, as we're just waiting for both teams. I feel like subs probably will be coming in for Liberty. A little of a wholesale change, easier to make subs through a timeout rather than subbing people on and off.
Absolutely.
Through the field. And NC State's just trying to stop the bleeding.
Yep. No, it's been quite a game that we've seen out here today. Definitely not the result the Wolfpack has hoped for thus far, but there's still 17 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Hopefully something can happen here.
That was great quick math by you, Logan. I did not know that you're a mathematician like that.
Not quite as good a mathematician, but, you know, this quick math can do that easily.
Didn't even use a calculator. I'm impressed. Team's now taking the field again, and it looks like we do still have the same starting attack in for this Liberty team. Gregory's still there. Zumpano still in.
There will be no pity here. They are just going to take every opportunity that they can to build this score and hone their own skills.
Absolutely, get that momentum going because they do have two big games coming up like we talked to Coach McQuillan about. I believe they have UConn and
Michigan State
coming up, both ranked opponents. Hard schedule that we talked about with the Liberty coach, hard but good. And slippery surface there, but
I'm surprised he managed to get it out of there.
By Stan to just roll it all the way. Oh, beautiful trail check. Beautiful trail check, and there's a penalty coming down.
No, that's going to be going against NC State.
Getting really into it. That was a beautiful trail check, though, by Sam Gregory, laying out the long stick of Sarl. And nothing really Sarl could do except for maybe try to keep that stick close to him, but he didn't know that Gregory was behind him. And Gregory, they're up 3-11, but it doesn't matter to Gregory. He's going to lay out and put it all on the line.
Absolutely no. And you can tell that they really want to build this because they're a 3-2 team right now. You got to pad your points scored a little bit more, you know. Maybe getting just that little bit more will make being 4-2 that much sweeter.
Absolutely. Going to 4-2, which still is not a guarantee yet.
Nope, not. It's not over.
Not over, but it's getting there. But we don't want to count any chickens before they hatch. And we're still. Oh, ball bounces up high there, coming straight to us. Oh, just out of my reach. Didn't get there. Right behind one of our camera people.
Yep.
And everyone's telling them where the ball is. Matt Sullivan's coming to get it. And here we go. It's got to be behind the midfield line. So that's big for this ride because that means the attack is set up. Well, Sullivan doesn't have anywhere to go, and if he has to go back, it's not going to be good. Moves it back to Johnson, though. They get that double. You don't want to go to that corner. Use that sideline, and there you go. Break it.
Using that speed to just break it wide open.
Absolutely. I hear the communication frantically, too, by that Liberty squad yelling, cutters.
Yep.
And they've got the double because we are man down. And you want Johnson with it because he's got speed.
Especially when you're a man down like this. Him having the ball in his stick, he can make something happen.
Absolutely. You see the double and a long pass to Sullivan. Risky pass, but it gets there. And that's
off.
It did pay off, which is not what you want with the double team for the Liberty squad. But here he comes to the double team. It's running into the corner. Sullivan splits that perfectly.
Masterfully footworked there.
Oh,
good defense.
Good look there to Miller Barber. And looks like Barber, are they going to count that he was pushed? They're going to say no goal. He looked like he might have left his feet, not on his own account. But
looked like he got
pushed.
there, yeah.
But I guess they're saying he dove. But I believe that Miller did get pushed. And again, doesn't matter what we think up here. They're not listening to us.
They were all over him, though, at the back of the net there. I'm surprised that nothing was called there, and they counted out the goal.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're still a man down here, it looks like. Or did I just do my counting wrong? And I did. I'm no longer a mathematician. I am 1 for 2 on my counting today. But it's even. And Gregory doesn't care. Just takes it right through the heart. One man slipped on that, and he just puts it in the back of the net. And it's now 3-12 in favor of this Liberty Flame team.
Now, in 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter, that's a rough one to let happen. Really just knifing through there, and he got hit by potentially every defenseman that NC State had down there, and he still just took the contact and managed to put it in the back of the net once again for this Flames team.
Absolutely. An even cool 20 on the clock here. 3-12 in favor of this Flames team. Face-off coming now. I believe that's Will McGowan again.
Really going back to him in the second half after the Moss experiment in the first.
Absolutely, and it doesn't. I feel like Moss isn't even that bad because neither of them had that much experience there, and it was actually Moss, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think either of them really care because their stats are just being decimated here by this Liberty team, and it's going to go in favor of the NC State Wolfpack as the ball goes straight to the crowd. Yep. Beautiful toss there, right to an official though. It looks like we have a little baseball going on with around the horn bit going.
Got about 7 seconds for the Wolfpack to make something happen here.
Just going to try to chuck it. Nothing's going to happen here. And you hear everyone shout and shoot it. It doesn't matter. It counts. It doesn't matter because ball is waved off. And
really?
It's now 3-12 in favor of this Flames team. And NC State has scored every quarter.
Yep.
But that's not enough when the other team has 12.
No, absolutely not. You know, you got a point for every quarter, but things have just not worked out here thus far for this Wolfpack team.
And that will wrap up the third quarter. We will be right back momentarily for the start of the fourth.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
We had really signed off on a price, and that was about it.
Without a signed written estimate, movers may try to charge more.
They were charging us now $2,000 instead of the agreed upon $900.
And may hold your items hostage until you pay.
Not only had they roughly handled or mishandled, it seemed like they had purposely destroyed things.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
While most contraceptives are highly effective at preventing unwanted pregnancies, there is one foolproof method. Pairing socks with sandals has been scientifically proven to prevent pregnancy by deterring any contact with the opposite sex.
Dad, we're grown adults now. Isn't it a little late to be having the talk or whatever this is?
I know what you're thinking. What is international action star Ed Begley Jr. doing talking to his blossoming children about sex? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm saving the world.
You said that we had to come home for an emergency.
Do you know that one of the biggest threats to wildlife and their habitats is rapid human population growth?
Please tell me you're done now.
Do your part by showing young lovers all the tools they need to avoid intimate moments altogether.
You don't have to sit through Ed Begley Jr.'s sex talk to save wildlife. Just use contraception, support reproductive rights,
And welcome back down. It is the start of the fourth quarter. Will McOwen on the face-off, Jack Sarl on the wing right in front of me here, and Devin Johnson on the other. And Owen, the ball's on the carpet. Owen's down. Ball's still kicked around, and it's going to go in favor of the Flames.
Still coming up with almost every single face-off here.
I think they just have vacuums. They got little Dyson and Sharks on there.
And that's all sticks there.
And that's all the vacuum brands I know. So I'm all out of vacuum jokes. I was going to make a Swiffer one, but that was low-hanging fruit.
Yo, got to make it interesting somehow,
Absolutely.
Blowout like this.
When it's 12-3.
Game's still not over.
Still not over. And there's nothing more fun than vacuums.
Absolutely. Good old vacuum humor, spicing up the sports world.
And here we go. Ball's going to be back. It's probably going to be an over and back. And they're not going to call an over and back on that. And they've got a big 99 of a tank of a human being in for this team. Noah Rude. And that is a big boy. And it looks like they have now subbed around, getting new attackmen in for this Liberty team.
Looks like they're just going to park his physically imposing presence just right in front of the goal there.
Just like hockey, get a little big screen man in.
Even with basketball, with the pick and roll, you want that big guy down there to make sure those picks
Absolutely.
happen.
And there's Rude.
Good save.
Right into the chest of Parker Stanton, too. Here we go. And that is number 7, Derek Esch, moving it around, just going to wait for something to happen. Going to be a slower offense, nothing there. Great one-handed stop by Parker Stanton. Beautiful ball. Got it.
Even when they get those passes down there and actually succeed in getting it there.
Zachary Watkins saw where he was and tried to do a little twinkle toes to stay in and just couldn't. The referee realized he was out of bounds.
Just right on him. Watkins letting him get in there a little bit, giving him kind of the bend, don't break mentality right now. Just want to – it's okay if you give up some ground, but you don't want to let them score anymore tonight.
Absolutely not. And ball just over the top pipe of that goal.
Almost had it right there. Narrowly over the top of the goal. You can see the Pack team looking a little bit winded out there, but still determined not to give up anything more today.
Absolutely not.
As we talk, Rude just pushing his way in there right there.
Absolutely. And no over and back call there again. And Rude is going to be, I think, my favorite player of this fourth quarter. He's just a behemoth of a human being.
He has, with the things that he has done already, pushing his way in there and setting screens, he's been fantastic, actually.
He really has. And
surprised we haven't seen him earlier.
And he looked like he was going to go chase it and then realized, hey, my buddy might be there. I don't need to. I'm just going to stay here. Big 99, Noah Rude. They moved around. And they got good complementary size and speed between him and Gregory. Gregory with a good little poke around.
No, their team is very well balanced, and we've seen that throughout the course of the match. They've excelled in every regard.
Stick to the head. Referee winds up, slings it up like a softball pitcher, and the flag is down. Here you go, Gregory moving around. Look for the cutting Rude. Ball was on the carpet. Rude quickly scoots it up. Now he's being attacked. Just
unbothered.
Unbothered by the
was not Rude, but number 93 in there.
Number 93, Elijah Britton, another big boy.
Now, as you said, they've got a perfect complementary pieces out there with the speed and size.
They're doing Rude and Britton getting off as the man up unit is coming in. And the ball's going to start with number 23. I believe that is Billy's. No, that's number 28. The fonts with these 3s and 8s on both teams are screwing me up. The number 28.
As it's gotten darker out here as well, it's gotten a little harder to see both of the jerseys.
Especially with the blue jerseys and the red numbering for the Liberty team. And then the gray is not much easier to read.
No, the gray on the white has made their numbers a little bit harder to read than I would say even Liberty.
Absolutely. And number
Skipped
28
right
rockets it, puts his hand on his hip, looks, see where it finally ended up. Almost got stuck in the fence up there.
Had a couple of those during warm-ups, just getting caught in the chain link fence.
But thankfully, we have both chain link fences now.
That is always good.
It's good. Beautiful offense by Caleb Britton to Derek Esch, and I believe that is Esch's 4th goal on the night. Ash has been playing outstanding for this Liberty team.
We've been calling his name a lot tonight, and there's a reason for that, and it's goals like that. He was mentioned to us as one of the star players before the game, and so really we've seen it through his offense today. They didn't talk that much about defense. I guess it was because it was none of their concern, because their defense has held up, but their offense has really just been the star quality of this team.
Absolutely, and I guess it doesn't matter that their star midi, Carter Elliott, is out with the sprained collarbone like we talked about, getting him some rest, and it doesn't matter. They've been playing very well in his absence.
Absolutely.
Here we go, another face-off. And won again by Liberty. Are you surprised?
No, not at this point. I just kind of expected. You just got to hope that the Wolfpack defense will hold up.
Absolutely. Just 3-13, a 10-point differential in favor of this team. It's
been difficult
Liberty
keeping track of the face-offs.
Aguilar with the beautiful moves, just toying with Miko, and Fogo v. Fogo, and Aguilar with the big win there, and he's jogging off now.
Yep.
Here you go. Now let's see how it goes. The long looping passes by NC State. Cutting man just too high for him. Miller Barber tried to get the ball. Hank Moss hustling around, now in attack. He's going to hustle to the goalie.
It's a tough pass. Two people with the opportunity to catch it, but it was just too high or too difficult of a play to get for both of them.
Absolutely.
No.
And here you go. Long stick, bringing it down. Ball, no one knew where it went except for Johnson. Johnson now going to use his legs.
It's going to clear
Looping pass is not going to get
enough.
there. You got to attack that. Just like my old lacrosse coach said, be Italian. Meet the ball. Even though it is St. Patrick's Day, you still got to be Italian and go meet the ball. It's a very annoying saying, but it's very true.
Very true, very true.
But definitely is very annoying when you hear it every day, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. But you do want to step up to that. He kind of was waiting for it to get to him, and you can't do that in any sport, really.
No. Oh, beautiful jump there. I believe that was Sorrell. That was beautiful defense by the New Yorker there. And he's going to leg it out now.
No, uncontested, really, taking it down the field.
Yeah.
Looking for somebody to dump it off to before he was eventually met.
NC State's not getting away with the offsides there. Very smart by them. It almost looked like it, but they were doing a little switch in the box, waiting for Sorrell to get back, and they're just going to do a little midline exchange.
Honestly, diverting the ref's eyes there a little bit, trying to keep them focused on something else.
Absolutely, always. Always just try to distract the refs. And, ooh, beautiful move by Johnson. Oh,
good
he looked for the
there.
man in the middle, but defenseman knew it was coming.
Got about 9 minutes left in this game here.
Oh, beautiful move there by Sullivan. Trying to find, he's got the double because they only had 5 minutes on the field as they were subbing. And here we go. NC State not as methodical, maybe because they just don't have time to be methodical, or that's just not their style today. And it is not paid off for. But beautiful goal there by Johnson, notching his second of the game. And that's what you want to see.
Absolutely.
2 goals by each, Barber and Johnson, and it's now 4-13.
Johnson, again, just utilizing his speed and agility, really, jumping and cutting wherever he needs to go. And he's taken full advantage of outspeeding this Liberty Flames defense. He's been one of the few bright spots for this Wolfpack team today.
Absolutely. It is now 4-13 with 8:37 remaining in the fourth. And NC State now, it looks like a new faceoff man has entered the fray for the state team, trying to right the wrong. Maybe coach was looking for someone new, and he said, Coach, let me get some playing time.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you always got to be ready to be the next man up. You know, whatever that situation may be, you get on the field. If you have an opportunity, whatever it may be, you take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And here you go. That is number 26, Jake Walls. I haven't called his name a lot today, and it looks like beautiful bulldog technique there. It looked like an Oklahoma drill, Oklahoma drill like in football, just plowing him over.
Absolutely. Jake Walls 1 for 1 today.
Jake Walls might be the new go-to guy and any more goals. And there's a timeout taken by State here.
No, using his aggressiveness to really get in there. Men's lacrosse team is also going to be back out here tomorrow. You and I both joining them here. They're going to host ECU tomorrow at 1. You can catch all of it right here with PackTV, where PackTV is on Apple TV, Roku, live on YouTube, and at go.ncsu.edu/sports.
And also, you can catch us with the women's lacrosse game, too, against Wisconsin down here at Lower Method Field as well at 11 a.m. It'll be me and Logan on the call again. We'll get to spend a lot of time together tomorrow, Logan.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, always.
Hopefully it's as pretty and as nice of a day as it was today.
It was fantastic out here today. Really chilly now that the sun has set, though, and night has set in.
Yeah, now the night's falling. It's just not as fun, but it's still not too cold.
Hey, out here getting to watch a sports game, always fun.
Absolutely, especially on the call with you. Can't hard. Tomorrow it's going to be a nice little 60-degree day, which can't
ask for much better.
Beat. Especially when it's supposed to be cold in March. And
Yep.
We had snow already prior to this week. So
Yep. Snow in the forecast for next Wednesday, too.
Absolutely.
First day of spring.
Gotta love North Carolina weather.
Oh, as unpredictable as ever.
Absolutely. I have some friends from up north, and they were all talking about the weather. Like, oh, I can't. Back when it was February and very warm, and it's like, don't be happy about it. They're like, why? I go, we're going to get snow.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, when? I go, March.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. And then we got that early March snow.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is a staple in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be like lack of snow. We had maybe 1 or 2 snow days. We had about 3 good snow days here at NC State. Didn't get anything this past time, but still seeing the snow in March.
Yeah, absolutely. All my friends, everyone's like, oh, do we have class tomorrow? I go, it's North Carolina, we better not. If I see snow, I don't want class.
Absolutely.
I ended up having to go to class. I had to go to my philosophy class that next morning, and it was just even worse when you wanted it to be no class.
No, when the potential is there for having a day off, you always want that to come true. Yeah, exactly.
And here we go. NC State now going to move it around. Back out from the timeout after our good meteorology session. Oh, beautiful catch by Johnson. Oh, beautiful save there in the sand.
What a play by Johnson there. Can we talk about that acrobatic catch and spin?
Acrobatic catch, lands, hits a beautiful spin move, and then there's a top 10 play by both players on that. The goalie dropping down, trapping it in his pants, I believe.
Somehow managed to save that. I was completely fooled, admittedly.
Absolutely. And there's that my boy Rude with the yellow cleats just jogging around, just unbothered by the slap check there.
Just undeterred by anything that really comes at him, managing to just make these things happen. You need both size, physicality, speed. You got to have all of it really for the perfect player. But if you excel at any one of those 3, you can still make a difference in this game.
Absolutely. Here you go. Just Liberty. You got to move it around. Just probably going to work on stick work here because you don't really need that many more goals when you're up, when you have an insurance of 9.
Yeah, absolutely. 9-point lead. You can just sit on at this point, really.
For the most part, unless NC State starts cutting into it. But right now, it looks like you just want to work on their stick work. Maybe get some of the other players, or completely disregard what we just said and notch another one and get that 10-point lead back and make us just look like fools up here.
Absolutely. No, the Flames have just been incredible on offense. There's not much else to say about that, really. Wolfpack defense has done everything they can to try to slow it down, and they've been much more successful in the second half, slowing them almost to a crawl, but still the Flames have found ways to make goals happen, and that's really been the story of the game. Their incredible, overwhelming offense has just stifled anything that this Wolfpack has tried to put together.
Absolutely. I was hoping that they weren't going to score and make us look like geniuses up here, and then they said, hey, you know what? I hear them up there. Let's get another.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, and we had talked about how they had been such a high-scoring team with the Liberty Flames, but really we're getting to see that in action today. Their defense really stepping up as well. Not as much in their previous 2 games. Their offense really doing more of the work there as they had been close double-digit games.
Absolutely, against high opponents as well, and they're showing how well of a team they are against this NC State squad.
Absolutely. Arizona State and Colorado, both quality teams, both ranked.
And they have 2 quality teams coming up again, like we talked, and that was just a pseudo ride there by the attackman number 93, just acting like he was attacking.
Devin Johnson just been fantastic, really. Just whenever he gets the ball in his stick, just taking it down with that exceptional speed.
And here you go, just settling it around.
Really slowing it down, really. You can imagine that they kind of want this to be over so they can move on to focusing on the conference opponent tomorrow, you know.
Absolutely.
Hoping
Conference opponent. Got to rest up. It's going to be tough with 2 games.
Absolutely. Trying to take on ECU.
Very physical game right here. And then you can bet that ECU is going to be physical. 2 NC teams probably don't really like each other. Big conference rivals.
Absolutely.
As well. And beautiful save there by Reynolds.
Reynolds he's been a spark for this in goal today. Both goalies, him and Harriman, both just been fantastic.
Absolutely. He was a spark when they didn't even need one.
Yeah, exactly. You see him, again, as we mentioned, being active in this passing game,
controlling
making things happen himself. Missed pass there by 25.
That's exactly what we wanted, and then we just get it right back. Ooh, nice little toe drag there by the big man, number 27. That was number 27, Regan Pritchard, who is listed here as an attackman, but obviously not. He's a big body.
Well, we've talked about their versatility today and how they like to make sure that these guys can play at several positions, and they have done that today. They've proven that they can excel anywhere on this field.
Absolutely, they can.
Have to imagine if they'll go with this lineup going forward with how the success that they've experienced here as they go next week to take on Michigan State and UConn.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a trip to the Northeast with that trip to UConn.
Absolutely, and here you go. Oh, that's got to be a penalty there. Both men knew it. Number 44, Brett Miller, he didn't mean to. He just got tripped up.
Yeah, it looked like they just got their legs tangled right there.
Absolutely.
You hate to see it happen, but you know that it probably wasn't malicious when you see stuff like that.
Absolutely not. And 4 minutes, 37 left. Four's all on that scoreboard. 4 minutes, 37 left. Four goals for NC State in the fourth quarter.
Against the 14 points scored by Liberty.
Lots of 4s there. Very satisfying to the eyes. And, it's not satisfying.
Result of this game.
Demarest will not be happy. Probably give a stern talking to his boys. Just say. But as we talked about earlier with him, he said that all that really matters is that he wins the right 4 games. Obviously, you want to win as many as possible.
Absolutely.
We're not saying to tank, but you want to win as many as possible. But if you have to just win 4, win all those conference games, and you get into that tournament.
Absolutely.
He even called it stupid, but
no, you want to win every game.
Absolutely. He even called it dumb that that's a possibility of them just winning only conference games and getting in, and then. But he probably wouldn't be that mad at that because he knows that that's a team that can make some that they have a team that can make some noise. Ooh. And you hear some language that will not be repeated by either of us up in the booth. And
State player voicing his displeasure, for lack of a better term, with the call there.
And
looks like the refs are going to gather to talk about what the punishment may be here.
Unsure, everyone's getting off the field. I don't know if a timeout was called or what's happening here, but someone was not happy with that.
Looked to be number 18 on State's side.
Was it Jack Sarl, maybe?
Looked to be that way.
Ooh. Captain Sarl just frustrated, obviously. He's a senior.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be embarrassed like this. Like, obviously, Liberty's not doing this to make us to put NC State down, but you feel embarrassed when you're like just being outplayed like this today.
Absolutely. And you hate to see this result down 10, especially if you're the senior captain of this squad. But sometimes these games are just going to happen, and you have to just be able to bounce back. Like we said, they've got the game versus ECU tomorrow. You got to bounce back and be ready for that one.
Absolutely. And Sarl is not normally a hot-tempered man. I remember interviewing him in one of the lacrosse preview.
Yeah.
And we had a great conversation. He was wearing shorts while it was about 30 degrees out. I was layered up and I was freezing while he was just having a great time. He is from New York, and he said, "Yeah, I'm used to it." And he made fun of me a little bit, gave me a little of a rib, and but really surprised if that was him on that explicit.
Yeah.
That.
Glad our microphones aren't catching that one up.
I really hope they didn't. We want to be a child-friendly show on PackTV.
Whenever possible,
And we want to remind you that PackTV is now live 24/7 on YouTube.
Yep.
Now you can catch the live stream of PackTV as well as all of our on-demand content on YouTube. Search PackTV on YouTube or link to it from our website, go.ncsu.edu/sports. And here we go again, Liberty with it. Sam Gregory with the ball, moves it around, and
really it's kind of disorganized out there right now, just kind of everything just happening. Last 30 minutes, 30 seconds, trying to just run out this clock as much as they can before potentially maybe even taking another shot.
Absolutely, and Liberty's just moving around now.
Charged into him right there. A little bit of helmet-to-helmet, actually. Been difficult for this Wolfpack team to stop him, but they're trying to match Liberty's physicality a little bit late in this game, but still trying to make something happen as they look for anything to potentially happen right here. Liberty looking for another score, actually.
And ball's now up there, and Rude just rockets one to the fence, bounces back to the light pole there. And that was an absolute rocket from the tank. Rude getting to step into that shot, getting the legs under him. That's exactly what you want from a shot, especially from a backup, because you can know, hey, we've got players on this roster.
Absolutely, and you can tell because their momentum hasn't slowed at all with them putting their subs in. They've looked just as aggressive, just as potent on offense, and you can just tell that they want it just as bad as the starters.
Absolutely, and here we go. NC State moving around, trying to get something going on offense, just end the game on a high note.
Absolutely.
Obviously, not how you wanted the game to go the entirety, but you can at least garner some momentum for tomorrow in that conference game like we've been harping on.
Absolutely, and if you can potentially make this not a double-digit loss, you're going to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Johnson looks like he lost that a little bit, and then just a fast break here for the Flames.
Let's see what they try to do. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful swim move there. Obviously, beautiful save by Parker. NC State bench is still in the game, too. They were very excited for their goalie there. And that was a beautiful save, but beautiful play there. Beautiful swim dodge, bringing it down so it couldn't be checked out by the two defenders.
Yep.
And then finding the open man. Just a little high of a pass from letting Parker see where it's coming from.
Absolutely, and it looks like State is finally matching that physicality Liberty's been showing all game, actually. Finally knocking some players down. Little bit late for that at this point in the game, but with only a minute and a half remaining, might as well take what you can get and get ready to move on to that next game versus ECU tomorrow.
Absolutely. This game is basically
all but over.
Signed and sealed. In about a minute, it will be delivered.
Absolutely. Unless you can score about 10 goals in under a minute, I don't see anything changing.
10-point shot from Lacrosse, you know. And here you go, beautiful cutter.
Be taking that from the road behind Method Field to make that happen.
Cheer from Hillsborough, maybe it'll count. Beautiful pass, though. Both teams are still playing like it's 0-0, and as you can tell from that check out of bounds, beautiful physicality there. Liberty has been very physical in this game, and it's shown on the scoreboard and just in general on the scoreboard and on the field. They've been very physical.
Absolutely. Hear that yellow call telling it to slow down, wind down these last 30 seconds right here.
Absolutely. And here you go. It's basically like running out of shot clock in basketball.
Just dribbling it out, taking these steps. Johnson's still testing him a little bit there, but Liberty's just going to look to play keep away for these last couple seconds. Maybe, if they're feeling it, taking a last shot as the clock winds down.
Probably not.
But I doubt that at this point.
Just a couple courtesy poke checks here on Gregory. Still making it look like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still trying. Just get it away. Just get it to someone else. Why you the ball's down, and that'll do it from Method Field. We'll be back here to wrap up the game in a few moments. It is final 4-14 in favor of the Liberty Flames.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
We had really signed off on a price, and that was about it.
Without a signed written estimate, movers may try to charge more.
They were charging us now $2,000 instead of the agreed upon $900.
And may hold your items hostage until you pay.
Not only had they roughly handled or mishandled, it seemed like they had purposely destroyed things.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
While most contraceptives are highly effective at preventing unwanted pregnancies, there is one foolproof method. Pairing socks with sandals has been scientifically proven to prevent pregnancy by deterring any contact with the opposite sex.
Dad, we're grown adults now. Isn't it a little late to be having the talk or whatever this is?
I know what you're thinking. What is international action star Ed Begley Jr. doing talking to his blossoming children about sex? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm saving the world.
You said that we had to come home for an emergency.
Do you know that one of the biggest threats to wildlife and their habitats is rapid human population growth?
Please tell me you're done now.
Do your part by showing young lovers all the tools they need to avoid intimate moments altogether.
You don't have to sit through Ed Begley Jr.'s sex talk to save wildlife. Just use contraception, support reproductive rights, and speak up for sex ed in schools.
That's way better.
Find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
Our students are in a position to point to specific projects that they did in the real world, and that sets them apart.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We're going to find solutions to some of the big problems and challenges.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
Welcome back down to Lower Method Field, and I'm Sam Harding alongside Logan Warren to wrap up the game between Liberty and NC State. And there's a disappointing defeat for this NC State team coming in, first game in a month, 4-14 loss to the Flames, and it was all Flames very quickly. What did you see?
Really, those face-offs, just they stand out like a sore thumb. Like those face-offs, when you win basically all of them, I mean 2 in the first quarter for NC State, and that kind of set the tone for the entire rest of the game. But the offense was just overwhelming for the Liberty Flames, and they kept it going and they kept it up, and they managed to just overwhelm this Wolfpack team like that.
NC State couldn't really get anything going. Time of possession was just outstanding in favor of the Flames. Offense was all there, and when that offense is there, just always down on that side, the defense is going to get tired, and you saw that happen today to the State team.
Absolutely. And we talked a lot about their offense, but their defense too. They only let the State team score 4. And while a lot of that happens on their offense, preventing them from clearing the ball as effectively as they wanted, they can still make things happen on defense, checking and clearing their way out of some sticky situations, with the goalie play especially making a difference as well.
2 bright lights, though, in this game were both Devin Johnson and Miller Barbaro, as always. Both 2 goals each, the only 4 goals of this game. They played very well, and Johnson had that beautiful play we saw earlier with the skying grab and then the spin move instantly. Absolutely. But it wasn't enough to get the job done. We will be back tomorrow on Lower Method Field, first at 11 a.m. We'll be calling the women's lacrosse game against Wisconsin. I apologize. And then after that, tune in at 1 p.m. and we'll be covering men's again as they take on ECU in the men's conference game. And we will see you tomorrow.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to